everybody, and welcome to episode 353 of the TTV Podcast.
You scared the heck out of me, dude. Jeez, it was so quiet. You're like, hey! I'm like, oh!
Hey, everybody, what's up? Welcome to the TTV Podcast!
I was like, oh, God! Oh!
We're all here to have some goofy times!
Exodia, obliterate! Oh! Like, that's
I am Messa.
I
MLJ.
I am then.
What?
Excuse me?
Come again.
Excuse me?
Did he die?
I don't know.
What was that? It was like a chick.
Did my microphone blow out?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, darn, that would have been so cool. Ah, rats. I'm Takuma Nuba.
And I'm Leo.
I'm sorry. You might want to say that again, Leo. I think I laughed over you.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I'm just laughing at our private chat.
That's
What are you
Leo,
laughing
everybody.
Yeah, I'm here.
And hello, everybody. Welcome back to the TTV Podcast.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I'm glad to be back.
Welcome
Thanks
back.
for the invitation, man.
I'm convinced.
Yeah, we were supposed to have a seventh, our friendly neighborhood Starbreaker, but He just-
Zachariah.
he decided to forsake us for Vidya.
Zach and no hear ya.
Zachariah Breaker decided not to join us today.
Zachariah Breaker.
That sounds like an attack. I'm gonna perform my
really does.
finishing move.
Honestly, though, how's
I'm about to break her!
and I'm about to break.
Oh my god.
Everything you say to me!
No copyrighted music.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
How are you all doing this fine evening?
Doing good, man. Doing great.
Doing good.
Just been chilling. This was a really awkward intro, guys. This was
Yeah,
going on.
it really was.
You know-
Some weird energy
Classic.
coming into this
I'm
one.
getting
You're-
the feeling that some people here were just a little bit distracted with some off-podcast subjects. So,
does
Meso,
that
what do
mean?
we... You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, you mean when I epically destroyed you in a video game like 5 minutes ago? Yeah,
No.
you're right. That
It was
did
a close
happen.
match. You don't gotta lie. You don't gotta say it was epic destruction. It was very close.
I called down a
both did-
meteor
we
from
We
heaven
both did well.
and destroyed Vin in glorious single combat.
Shout out to
Yeah, I noticed
Arcanist
I,
2. Shout out to
I wasn't
Arcanist 2. That's
invited.
one of my favorite games. What do you mean? Everybody's invited. Anytime I want to play a game, you're always invited.
Oh, yeah, well, I didn't get the memo.
Damn.
Yeah, well, you weren't in call at the time.
Oh, there goes Meso again.
Oh, okay. Well, the podcast lead is got to BRB, so
Oh.
we're on our own.
Now what? Now what do we do?
Well,
Oh
we gotta.
no, we're live!
What
Hang
is
on.
the show?
I think. Oh,
Um,
yeah, no.
Time to do a callback. Who wants to rehash the Build-A-Baby conversation?
Oh no.
Listen.
Oh man.
So
Should we
okay,
restart?
you did remind me, Takuma. So I do this thing at work. Ever since I made like everyone here as like minifigures, I do this thing at work where I make people as minifigures as just like nice gifts. I started doing it when I started as like kind of an icebreaker, like, hello, this is who I am. Have yourself
Then
as a
he
minifig.
evolved it into a form of voodoo. So
Well,
if
now-
you mess with him, he'll like decapitate your minifigure.
I give them the minifigure. But now what I do,
Oh, even worse. He throws the curse at you.
I've been doing it for so long, I have a large bag of minifigure pieces. So every time I come into work, I say, yeah, this is the bag that I make people with. Like, this is my people bag.
It was
This is
already
the
kinda
bag that I
creepy,
cursed
now
Yeah,
you're
you're
making
making-
it even
yeah.
creepier.
Bro, I was trying to
Yeah.
drink water.
It's like he goes up to his coworker and he's like, "Last night, you were my muse."
What
And he hands him the minifigure.
Oh my god.
I have
Now,
a shrine of minifigures just like this one, and you are the latest addition to my collection.
Dude, LJ is,
Calm down,
is
Winnow.
definitely the real
he's
life
back.
collector.
Oh,
Huh?
hey, there you are.
Okay, listen,
about
I
it.
only.
Oh, he's
LJ,
back.
LJ,
He's
you have
back.
practically made like voodoo doll equivalents of us
Okay.
for many years.
In all fairness,
That's what I was saying.
they're supposed to be like cool things that we can like take pictures
He was
with.
BRB.
I bring
Oh,
them on
true.
trips. You know, they're nice things. Sometimes I'll gift them
You
to
bring
people.
Yeah, they're
on
voodoo
trips?
dolls.
Listen, trips with you guys. Like, I'm not just
Uh-huh,
randomly bringing them places.
It's
Trips
LJ's.
Just
with
LJ
us.
alone in a hotel on a king-size bed surrounded by minifigs. These are my friends.
Oh,
We had
I
such a
feel
nice
like
day.
I recall instances where you've taken photos, let's say, in front of one Washington monument where I was not present, and yet my minifigure was. So what is this excuse that you bring them when we're on trips with you?
Okay, so
It's
I
not
forgot
true.
about that. But
Not true,
but I'm
yeah,
like
yeah.
not. I'm not
Creepy.
taking them with
Creepy, in
me.
fact.
I'm not taking them with me on like
You took
non.
me. You brought me
TTV
with you on your
trips.
little trip.
I wanted you
I didn't-
to
I
be
didn't
actually
consent.
there.
He's just
I didn't
a
consent to
sentiment.
that
He's a
group photo.
sentimental person. He's
Yeah.
just sentimental. He
brought-
he missed you.
I brought Var because I wished Var was there.
Yeah.
Also,
I feel like
wait.
you're taking the power out of my hands.
What? No, you still have the power.
I've been
Here,
violated.
Var. Do you not want me to bring you on trips anymore?
No,
Oh, okay.
you're not allowed.
Okay. All right.
Fellas,
I won't bring you on trips that you're not there for.
fellas.
Cool. Guess I'm never coming to another trip ever again.
Wait, what?
LJ, what have you done? This is terrible.
Listen. It's just gonna be March all over again.
Yeah. Ari in the chat
Literally.
has got it. They're LJ's friend substitutes
Huh?
because LJ does not live close to any of his friends. So if he carries them around in like a Ziploc bag, that way he's never alone.
Because he's a creep.
Wait, what? No!
He's
no!
a weirdo.
Oh, God.
No!
We're being mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried.
Well, sometimes people need to be,
Oh, hang on.
reminded.
Is this Var's
Go on.
bully stance?
Yeah.
Hey, let me hand you a shovel.
You want to
for
talk
the
about
grave
that,
you're
Var? Var
Sometimes-
advocates bullying.
I do. I am tired of pretending like I don't.
All right. So, how do you feel about you being bullied?
Well, I bully myself every day, so.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, bully for you.
digging. You ever wonder why we're here?
Very nice, Takuma.
Really?
One of
Ben?
life's great mysteries, isn't it?
No.
Oh, dude, rip. Rest in peace, dude.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Rest in pizza.
We do actually have somewhat of a direction for this week's podcast, believe it or not.
Oh
It's
yeah,
totally
mess
Yeah,
up.
not
how his
just
direction's going so
bullying.
far.
It's not just bullying. We do have something constructive to say. But when I eulogize like a former why not embrace the parasociality, that they loved so much. Let us pay eulogy to a former friend gone too soon. RoosterTeeth.com.
I feel like there was like 30 transitions like you could have segued with, but you chose to not do any of them.
I like to keep you guessing. I like to keep you guessing. Though.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
less like the segue and more like the thing where you hold the person by their ankles and you do the wheelbarrow trick. That was
Go
you,
on.
bro.
Wait, the wheelbarrow trick? I'm not sure if I'm familiar with this trick.
You never did. You've never done a wheelbarrow race?
We're gonna
Yeah.
wheelbarrow Var next time we're on a trip with him.
It's
Oh,
race
so like
between-
okay, you like
Yeah.
hold the legs up and then
Yeah, one
yeah.
person's
I
grabbing
see.
the other by like the legs, and the other person's just got their hands, and you try to race them across the finish line without, grinding their face into the mud.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just a white people thing. I don't know.
I think we're too old for
That
this
is
now.
possible. I don't know if that has
I think it's an
anything to do with
old
it,
people
really.
thing.
No, because I've done it before, and I'm the youngest. I think here.
I think it's
Are
an
you?
active. I think it's an active
Yeah.
person thing.
Yeah.
Out of
Yeah.
everybody, yeah.
Are you saying I'm not active?
You're more active than
Call me fat,
No.
You know what? No, he's
Mr.
trying.
Anti-bullying.
He's trying to bully you into working out.
I love how this is the conversation, but I see LJ like zipping through a bunch of Rooster Teeth related images on the stream.
LJ did what he did. He
Dude.
he took the segue and then was walked back.
I'm doing my job correctly. I've got this is just this is just on auto rotation, but Rooster Teeth is dead.
Take the reins, Mesto. You're supposed to be
Yeah.
the lead here.
I want to
Rooster Teeth is
say
dead.
there is actually like
Well,
I don't know.
dying.
I'm sure we'll make many jokes about it because I mean I like to think we're funny people, but there is some degree
People
of
are
like
losing their jobs, Meso.
yeah exactly.
It's not
There is
funny.
a
Yeah.
certain
It's not funny. Why
there
are
is
you
a
making
there
jokes?
is a heavy
We
degree
are not
of,
making any jokes.
Meso.
Maybe you can make jokes. You
there is a
sicko.
heavy degree of solemnity that is to do
That's
with
a
this.
word.
It is a word.
Yeah,
You're right.
Gotta
Big word
bust
for
out
Meso.
the dictionary.
I'm gonna assume that most people
That's
who
why
are
he had to
here
get up and leave.
listening to us, bruh.
He left to go prepare his podcast vocab.
He was like, "Hang on, thesaurus."
Excuse you guys. I always have high vocabularistics. No.
Okay.
Hey man,
God.
that's
Wow.
not legal in all states.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Bullying is necessary sometimes.
Oh
Okay,
my gosh.
Humor me for just a minute. All right.
No.
So I'm gonna assume that out of the 24 people who are listening to this right now, thank you guys, by the way, that most of you know who Rooster Teeth is because they're an internet staple.
They're
But
one of
on the
our
off
biggest
chance,
inspirations too, or at least they were for a hot minute.
yeah, on the off chance
Yeah,
someone
pretty
here
good.
doesn't know, I'm gonna do a 45-second summary.
Wait,
Rooster
hold on, I need
Teeth
to
is
find
an
this out loud.
online. Okay, you ready, Takuma?
And go.
Thesaurus.
Rooster Teeth is an online internet video company that was started all the way back in the early 2000s. They were one of the first like pioneers of internet video. They actually existed before YouTube. And among many other things that they would later become known for, including podcasts and shows, movies, and games, their biggest contribution was a show called Red versus Blue, which was, I don't think the first machinima, but definitely one of the first most popular machinimas.
Yeah, it came out when
They-
machinima was barely becoming like a thing
Yeah.
that people
Yeah.
could
I think
do.
I think it was the first.
I think it was.
If it wasn't the first,
Yeah.
it was among the
'Cause it-
first,
It
and it gained a huge
predated the
following.
term machinima. 'Cause
It
I remember
did.
that came out after the fact. Everybody was like, "Oh, you're just a Red versus Blue copycat."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Before it became like a whole genre.
more or less. And
By the way,
that
50
it has.
seconds.
Well, but I finished talking. but anyway,
Your time's up,
No,
Meso,
you
you're
didn't.
done.
You just
Yeah.
started continuing right there.
Mm-hmm.
that's fair. So we, as like many people, are fans of RVB, but they actually did play somewhat of a role in us being established, particularly being established on YouTube, because the very first thing we did on YouTube was our own Halo machinima.
We also tried to copy RVB.
To great effect. I happen to think ours was far better.
I don't know if it was. I don't think our machinima. I don't think our machinima was inspired by RVB directly. I think it was
Not
inspired
directly.
by, like, other
So
stuff.
real
yeah,
quick.
only the genre.
It
and
was
the
definitely
medium.
RVB inspired. The fact that we
Nah, the
even
Rooster
started
Teeth
it with
influence came
Halo
out later.
CE,
Mm-hmm. Hey, mess up.
like we did it in Halo CE, we bounced around maps, we tried to come up with some weird
No, we
like.
did it in Halo C because that was the Halo that we had. None of us had
Oh
Xboxes.
yeah, but I mean,
LJ.
we also did it.
It's okay. I'll wait.
Well, we did it a little differently. Yeah, we took that ad lib. What's the word? It's what I'm trying to do right now.
Improvise.
I would tie our
Improvise.
early days
Yeah.
to
Wow.
RB
Brain
and the
fart.
Chief more than I would Red versus Blue.
Maybe. I didn't even know about RB and the Chief when we started doing it though.
So real quick.
That was something
Machinima-
you guys showed me.
Machinima as a term has been around since we know specifically January of 2000, and machinima films have been being made since at least 1996, possibly earlier.
What the heck? What? Pong?
That's Pong was before that.
Nope,
Bro.
it was Quake.
Okay, that makes sense.
Ah.
Yeah. So,
Shout
anyway.
out to you, Toby Ekazap, who did not know what Rooster Teeth was, so he's grateful for my explanation.
Good job, Meso. You did great, buddy.
Everybody gets one.
Wait, okay, so there's a person that doesn't know what Rooster Teeth is. How old is this person?
That's none of your business, Var.
I don't know if you want to
Toby
say
Ekazap's
that.
been around a long time.
Toby,
Yeah, he's
Toby
one of
has
our
been a
earliest
fan
fans,
of
like-
ours for a while. He's one of our like.
I mean, that
Toby's a real
Oh.
thing.
Yeah.
I guess it would be a
Interesting.
little bit surprising, I suppose, if you just like did not go through a lot of YouTube.
I mean, I can
in
also understand
recent
that
years, I
because
don't know.
he knows what Red versus Blue is, because that has kind of an identity outside of the company. There's multiple levels of like getting into it. I would imagine from a
That's
casual
totally fair
basis.
because they branched out
Yeah.
far beyond RVB.
Yeah.
I-
So whether it was a direct inspiration or not, the popularizing of Halo-based internet video content did play a role in our inception. And so even though none of us in this call have been like Rooster Teeth fans actively for a good few years now, not to the degree that we once were anyway, we always will have an affinity for the company. And so like that's why
I still remember that one of our ideas for meeting up in person for the first time was not Brick Fair. It was to go meet up at RTX.
Yeah, that was where we initially wanted to.
And
have our
I
first
remember
meetup.
telling my friends back
we'll
home.
never have that chance.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's
I remember
so
telling my
Jover.
friends back home, like, oh, yeah, I'm saving up money so I can go to RTX and see Rooster Teeth and meet my friends and stuff. And then that just didn't happen.
No. But the first time that we did meet each other, it was me and Var and nobody else. And we went to New York Comic Con 2014. And me and Var got to see a Ruby panel. And
Oh,
just
man,
two
that's
buds.
crazy.
two buds.
Just two amigos.
I mean, to think that that's how far they took their content too. Like when they made Ruby, it was just kind of like, it was like I don't know. For me at the time, it was like, okay, the guys that made RVB, now they're making like a pseudo anime. Like who knows if this is gonna take off? And then now to think like, oh yeah, they had a panel back then, and then the following only became bigger and bigger as time went on. Like
It's insanely commendable.
that is insane. Yeah.
I think regarding the conversation about Rooster Teeth being an influence on us, I think Var, you're right that a lot of our early stuff, a lot of the Halo machinima we were trying to make, I don't know if it was necessarily influenced by Arby and the Chief. It was certainly less vulgar, but it definitely ended up that way. It ended up a lot
It kinda did.
closer to that in execution and concept than anything that Rooster Teeth was doing. But I would definitely say Rooster Teeth was where we were really encouraged and inspired to do a Halo machinima, because it was around that time that, like, I think season 7, season 8 was happening, and it was like really
Correct.
popping
Yeah,
off.
dude, I remember all the hype around RVB around that
Mhm.
time, and that's what made me want to do machinima. Like, I had so many ideas for different shows I wanted to do besides the TTV stuff, and I was just like, oh, I need to get a capture card. I need to learn how they do it for RVB and how to use theater mode and in Halo and stuff. It was
because of the virality of the Tex fight.
Yes,
in,
that's
in
the
season
first.
8.
That's the first RVB I ever watched, and I think it was one of you guys, not you Takuma, not you Leo, but one of the others that showed that to me.
yeah, screw you guys.
Yeah,
I just
we
didn't know you
exist
guys back then.
Yeah.
I still don't know you guys.
No.
Wow.
Takuma and I go way back. We fought in the war.
I
Yeah.
mean, if I fought in the war, you mean that you did something wrong on BZP and I had to smack you down for it?
I wouldn't call that a smackdown. It was more of a stern finger waggling.
You
Takuma,
can't even tell me what it was that you got told off
I
for.
can tell you
by
the
me.
vibe.
Maybe it was for
The
making bad
vibe.
comics.
Ooh, well, so
Takuma,
long as
I
your vibe
forget.
is the authority.
It's
on
very
it.
I
like
often
this.
forget that you were a BZ Power moderator.
I
They
forget
still
that
am.
he
They
used to
haven't- they
make
have
fan
not moved me to
comics.
retired. Yeah. I had quite the name in the comedy forum, too.
Oh man, and he's a comedian, a well-renowned community comedian.
You know what, Takuma?
Go on, Takuma.
You're gonna make
Tell
some
us a
lady
joke.
very happy one day.
Yeah, I pray for her, whoever she ends up
Takuma,
being.
tell us a joke.
Tell us a joke. Oh wait, actually, Messa, I've got a great joke. It's do you like knock knock jokes?
Oh no.
Yes.
Okay, I've got a great knock knock joke, but you have to start it.
Okay. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Uh.
Epic. That's good. That's good. It worked.
Very nice. Epic memery.
Wow, that actually got me to laugh pretty good. I've never laughed at a knock knock joke before in my life.
Paid off.
He said you started.
Did you even intend that? Was that the end of the joke, or were you gonna go somewhere?
Oh,
else?
that was it. That was
Okay,
it.
perfect. That's what I was hoping it
That was
was.
good.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah.
I would
I'm using
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I guess the timeline there works out. I feel like I wasn't really much of a fan of Red versus Blue directly during the actual release of the reconstruction stuff until later on after the fact. So I guess when I try to look back into the history of when we started doing machinima and stuff, I don't think my mind goes to Red versus Blue. But that being said, we were absolutely influenced by Rooster Teeth further on in our YouTube
the influence got
lifespan.
bigger and bigger.
I think it's
as
fair to
time
say
went on.
that that was really what the catalyst was. RVB was a gateway for many people, but us, I know you, Var, you loved the podcast, the RT podcast,
Yeah.
and a lot of the personality-based like discussion content.
And nobody else.
Mhm.
I remember the Let's Plays they used to do may have played a hand into why we started doing Let's Plays.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't invent the concept of Let's Plays, but they certainly popularized like big like personalities interacting with each other
Yeah,
in
like
that
I
kind of
remember
an
Miles,
environment.
The GTA
Michael
heists.
and Gavin.
The GTA heist for sure
Videos,
was
yeah.
awesome.
Those were events.
GTA
Like I
heists.
remember whenever they'd release a new one, we'd get in call and be like, "All right, we gotta."
Oh
watch
yeah,
this.
that was
Yeah,
a thing.
yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
we made that a huge deal.
It was a big deal.
It was also for the
Yeah,
longest
and
time.
especially.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was
No,
just
you
gonna
go
say,
ahead.
yeah, the influence definitely played a lot. After like post G2 launch.
Yeah.
Once we started kind of like getting serious about the channel, our YouTube channel, and trying to like figure out what the best way to like grow it was, we modeled a lot of our decisions off of what Rooster Teeth was doing at the time.
Yeah.
So
Which
Because they're a success story, and like
Yeah.
what they said. Because I've watched the goodbye live stream, not the goodbye
Oh,
one.
I
but
did too, man.
first
That
one.
was heart wrenching.
One of the things they mention and they make a point of saying is that when they told the founders, Bernie, Matt, Gus, and Jeff, they were like the first thing they were concerned about was whether people were going to get taken care of with severance packages and whatnot. And the second thing they said was, well, it may be over, but it wasn't a failure. We lasted 21 years.
Mhm.
And I think that's a
That's
good
a good way to
attitude because
Yeah.
they are fundamental for a lot of people about how internet content could be done. They're an example that it was profitable, that it was successful, that it was viable, that people would care. And even though there were a multitude of bad decisions along the way, and they self-admitted kind of failed upwards was the word that like Bernie used, I think, especially early on. They were still inspiration for many people, us included. And I mean, did it work for us for a
mean,
time to a
yeah,
lesser degree? But
to bits and
I would
pieces.
say it. Yeah, I would say it did work for us. We just had a very smaller niche,
yeah.
compared to Rooster
Yeah,
Teeth. But
for us, we
in
were
that,
just constantly punching upward.
yeah, in that small little niche that we had, I would say that we were very successful when we were at the peak of modeling our channel after Rooster Teeth.
Was
We-
this during the Vessel era?
I was
Yes.
gonna say
Yeah,
so
during the Vessel era, that's
the
when we
Vessel
were.
era.
we were one
Yeah, I
of
mean-
For
the,
like Rooster Teeth Light at that point.
the most successful channels on the Vessel platform, which was shared by like what was it?
Rhett
Markiplier,
and Link, Linus
Rhett and
Tech
Link.
Tips.
yeah, Channel Awesome, like Nostalgia Critic.
Mhm.
Like but we were specifically told by Vessel like we had, I think some of, if not the best carryover from our audience.
Yeah, because most of the people there had giant audiences, but they weren't able to actually get them to move over to
Yeah.
a random unknown platform, and everybody's already on YouTube.
But our fan base was epic, and they did it for a while, and then it got shut down.
And it got shut down. Dude,
Rest
the
in
Vessel
peace.
days were the best days. That was
Dude,
definitely...
I
that
was gonna
peak
say the same
TTV.
thing.
TTV.
Yeah,
Yep.
good
I miss
times.
book club.
Book club was so
Book club
fun.
was great, yeah.
Yeah,
the event
yeah,
was just like
I love book club.
we would do the books, we would discuss it, we would read it all day. It was an all day affair.
Whatever
It was a
happened
lot
to
of-
the gif of me throwing a slice of pizza in the air and then catching it? I don't know, even remember if that was book club necessarily, but
Oh,
I
that
think
was
that was.
something that we live.
It was either
streamed,
Book
not live
Club or
streamed, but recorded.
Biotalk.
that might have
No,
that might have
had
been
to
my
have been
own
Book Club.
channel.
Oh,
Biotalk Book
I
Club.
just,
was
I
the
just remember we
series.
had it as a GIF in the patron chat at one point, and now it doesn't seem to work.
I've been
No,
telling Mary.
yeah, you're
'cause
right. Biotalk was Book Club. I was thinking
Mar-
of TTV Talks, but we didn't.
Mary
do
loves reading.
cam.
It's like her big thing, and I wish she'd been around during the book club era. Oh well.
We were doing so much at that time, though. We had like so many shows, and everybody had their own like series. We were selling T-shirts and stuff, and had a website, and the boards were starting to come up too.
Yeah.
All while we were doing Vessel. Like that was
was
that was
big.
definitely a nice little bit of success.
doing
right
I
there.
was still
Yeah.
doing squat deadly.
That was fun.
And it's inspiration. It's a
And then
player
Bionicle
like-
died, and so did our channel.
Well, that's
Yep,
the thing
and
though.
now-
Bionicle died right before that all happened.
Yeah,
That's true.
Actually, I take
Yeah,
that
it was
back.
like,
so
we were just
partially.
kind of
That's
we were
partially
riding
true.
on the wave of Bionicle's second death.
So
It was I don't remember the order, but it was definitely close. It was like Vessel got shut down, and then Bionicle died like back to back.
I
The two-punch
It was vice
whammy.
versa,
I
but yeah.
actually do have it written because I do have our vessel dates. So we started on Vessel around June 29th, 2015. And the last episode of the TTV podcast that was released early was October 24th, 2016.
Wow.
So that's about
A little over a year.
year and a half-ish, a year and a few months.
A year and a half of being genuinely like kind of profitable.
No.
We were so
crazy.
close. I say always, we were
So
so
close.
close to like making a bad decision and like renting a
Yeah, we
studio.
were we were all about to move to one state and buy an office or rent it out an office.
I
Literally.
mean, to be fair,
Gosh.
if we did do that, I don't think that wouldn't have been so bad because then we would have had
Pivoting
more
would have been a
reason to
lot easier
commit.
with us all together.
yeah, like we would
That's
have
true.
commit. We could have pivoted into a different direction a lot more easily.
That's true.
Being able to work together under the same roof would have done a lot for our productivity
honestly-
at the time because I remember
Honestly, would have.
we were all juggling so many different things at the time that it was just kind of hard. Yeah, we were tackling a lot of different things. The website, selling stuff, making videos, making varied video content. I remember we used to struggle to at times to come up with a different video series because we'd be like, okay, we need to diversify, or we're about to run out of books to talk about, or
Yeah.
whatever. Bionicle's dead. We need something to latch onto, right? Like we would do, we would jump between different themes for Lego set reviews. Like we would tackle creator, we would latch onto Ninjago and this and that,
Boost.
and boost, man. I get mad about boost. I get so mad thinking about boost. Don't get me started. But anyway, point is, yeah, I mean, we had that drive. You know, if we
Yep.
did
had
actually
the dog
somehow
in
get
us.
ourselves under the same roof, we did. We really did.
Dang.
Because that was the
Um,
again, it's something we were literally drawing from. Because when RoosterTeeth had a studio, they had 2 studios.
Yeah.
They were so popular in their first studio, they expanded to a second one. So it was proof positive that it could be done, and it
Mhm.
was an inspiration for creators everywhere who wanted to like group up and become something bigger than their independent selves.
I would say
Yeah.
I would actually almost attribute the idea of a YouTube studio or even like a content house that got popular. I think all of that could be like attributed to Rooster Teeth doing the studio thing first, because I think they were the first ones
Yeah.
to do that. And then
That's
suddenly
basically
all
what
these
it is
other
now.
all these other channels started doing studios. Like I
Machinima.
think Philip DeFranco had SourceFed. There was Machinima, yeah. Rhett and Link did Good Mythical Morning.
Channel Awesome again.
Yeah, Channel Awesome. So a lot of people were doing like the whole big group of creators coming together under one roof to create like production teams, kind of after the whole Rooster Teeth blow up. So
Yeah.
Rooster
No,
Teeth
Matt
took
Scott.
that concept and they ran with it so well. They ended up making so many different things once they got that studio put together. And gosh, I will never like not be impressed by how exponentially they grew after Ruby.
I think their biggest advantage over anybody else was that they were all already physically together as friends and like a group, and they already had the space to kind of work in, because they didn't really start on the internet. They started in a physical location uploading to the internet.
Yeah.
And I think that was a big difference between them and basically any other YouTuber or content creator.
Yeah, I think they used to get together at somebody's house to do the
Bernie.
TV stuff.
Bernie's
Yeah,
apartment.
yeah,
he had
yeah.
a spare bedroom, and they would make videos in there.
See, if we did that, I mean, we
Exactly. That's a
did do
huge
that
advantage.
for a bit.
Being able to physically work together is a huge
Yeah, that helps a
advantage.
lot.
When Var and I were like cranking out review content at his place for that one weekend, that was so dope. If we
That
had,
was really cool.
if we were somehow able to do that like on a weekly basis, oh, we would have gone crazy. Could have been Rooster Teeth 2.0.
Let's not get carried away. But we could have been great.
I've always thought that if we were in the same place, I don't know if we'd do Lego content necessarily, but I know we would do podcasts. We'd have like a podcasting space, and I actually kind of feel like we would branch into skit comedy a little bit more.
Oh, knowing myself, I would have absolutely pushed for skit comedy.
Yeah, there was definitely a phase where we wanted to do that too. Like we started like getting a lot of inspiration from Sugar Pine 7, which ironically was also or became a Rooster Teeth.
A part of
entity
Rooster
as
Teeth,
well.
That's kind of one of the issues I have with Rooster Teeth is channel acquisitions later on in the line.
And they started
that's
to just, like,
yeah.
meet up
Well, they were
everywhere.
That's
And
the
I have-
problem with businesses,
I
right?
agree.
Like you get to a point where you've kind of hit your peak, your plateau, and you have to find a way to still grow. And I think that was Rooster Teeth's biggest problem, was once they kind of hit the ceiling of what they were really capable of doing, they started making really bad decisions in an effort to continue the growth momentum. And
That's exactly
I think
what it is.
Yes.
I think at one point, I forget where I read it, but someone was saying like how they were looking at companies like Netflix and Hulu as competitors.
Yep.
And I think that was a giant mistake, because those are very different companies.
The issues that came from that, like you said, well, there was Funhouse, Sugar Pine 7, Screw Attack, Cow Chop. There was just a bunch of channels that were their own thing that eventually got inhaled to Rooster Teeth because they probably got, a nice contract of some type. And a couple years later, those channels and people will get tired. They're like, we can't do this. Contract ends, channel ends, or just stops making content altogether.
They started like no longer seeing their company as like a company that produces content as more like a company that distributes content.
Yeah.
And so the
It's a
shift in
completely different business model.
Yeah, and you
completely
had
different.
you had RT first. You have to make content for that on top of making channel content for your own channel. And at that point, it's not one of that like some of the content you're making isn't for fun. It's for platform that a very select few of your fan base is even going to interact with. Eventually,
I mean,
leading
the moment
to a
the moment
downfall.
that it changed entirely was when they got acquired by Full Screen.
Mhm.
And I see a lot of people right now, even in the current discourse, they're going like, well, this shows, this is what they get for selling. It was a dumb idea to sell. And I mean, I think there certainly is an argument to be made there, but you have to remember the context of why they wanted to sell. It's like Var said, they reached the peak of what they could
plateaued
do
and they
with
needed
their
to keep
current
growing.
resources, and they could have just kept going, and maybe they should have. We'll never know, but they wanted to do more. They wanted to make movies like Laser Team. They wanted to make shows like Day 5. They wanted to do all these different things that they just did not have the money to do, and they made the choice that more resources was better. And it seems like, from what I've read and from what I remember, full screen by itself was fine. The culture didn't really change until full screen then got purchased, and then it all kind of started to snowball. And now we're living in 2024 where there's Ruby crossover movies with the Justice League.
Yeah.
Figure that one out.
And see,
So dumb.
it's interesting too, because to relate it again to us, Rooster Teeth got acquired by Full Screen, but we were also partnered with Full Screen. We were a part of their network.
We joined their network
I remember
because Full Screen acquired Rooster Teeth.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
why.
Yep.
They were acquired by
my
Full
gosh.
Screen, and then we saw an email from Full Screen asking us to join their network, and we were like, "Well, Rooster
Let's
Teeth's
do
a part
it.
of them. Let's do it."
You know, might
Why
as well,
not?
yeah.
And to be honest, it wasn't bad. Like the
had a bad
catalog
experience.
of materials that they had to offer was very good, and we were always reasonably supported if we needed it.
Yeah, I will say that the value that they bring versus the compensation that they take is not good. Like, it's not great.
Yeah.
That's something
Okay,
that's come out in recent years. The whole MCN thing,
Yeah,
like
MCN dramas.
that
are
all
big.
fell apart. The
Mhm.
illusion, the allure of the MCN. But back then, it was a different time.
What's the MCN thing? What is that all about?
So channels like Machinima, I mean, is it? I guess you could say
It means
garner your paycheck.
multi-channel network. Yeah.
Yeah.
They would take a
Oh,
percentage.
It's what
of your-
Rooster Teeth basically was.
Mhm.
But
They
okay,
take
gotcha.
a portion of your earnings, then they pay you the rest, and in exchange, they gave you perks and benefits.
Mhm.
One of the ones that Full Screen always advertised was an audio library of royalty-free music to use in your videos.
I
The
remember
promise
that.
of copyright protection, very like vague, illusory stuff that 90% of it wasn't really anything. 10% of it was
I think
maybe
the
useful.
biggest draw to joining an MCN is that they have the resources to find advertising for you. So they're able to like pitch ads, ad spots for you. So like whenever you see like YouTubers with sponsorships, like I don't know, like what's that stupid game?
Rage, Shadow,
Shadow
Legends.
Yeah,
Legends,
Raid
man,
Shadow
Scary.
Legends.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Fact-
A lot of how it used
Raycons.
to work was that the MCNs would have partnerships with these companies wanting to advertise their products.
Mhm.
They would reach out to the companies and then distribute those ads to the channels in their network. So basically, you join an MCN if you wanted to find a way to get ads on your thing, which is great payout.
I see.
Yeah.
That's kind of a benefit that only applies to bigger channels, though. Like, we're talking like 500,000 subs and up. Not necessarily for channels like us, who are only at like 40,000. Like, I don't think we were ever offered any ads or sponsors
I don't
through
think
Full
so.
Screen.
No.
Another benefit of joining an MCN is that because it's a network, the idea is that you kind of are part of a group of other channels. You know, like for instance, you could say, well, Rooster Teeth is a part of Full Screen, TTV is a part of Full Screen. Therefore, in kind of a roundabout way, Rooster Teeth and TTV kind of share like a partnership. And that can be something that you could advertise or hopefully like, you know, reach out across the aisle and sort of share subscribers and viewerships and that kind of thing.
And
Once
back
again,
in the
though-
day, before Full Screen, back in like the Machinima days, that happened. Machinima would coordinate crossovers and collaborations between partners in their network,
Mhm.
but that's like a relic of a bygone era.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Wouldn't they also
yeah.
deal with disputes as well? Copyright
Yes.
disputes?
Yes,
back
they
during
also
the day.
did the legal stuff too. So if
Which
there was
is big.
copyright disputes or anything like that, the MCNs would take care of that. But like we're talking about scenarios that once again only really apply to the top earners, the big
Mhm.
channels in the network.
The big
They're not
kahunas.
really going to be doing that for the
Yeah.
40,000 sub channels.
No.
Yeah, well, they should. We're hard
Well-
workers, dang it.
Not
I agree.
anymore.
Was
Not a new.
That being said,
Well, I work
our,
hard,
our-
just not on TTV.
our
Yeah.
experience with Full Screen was pretty good. I don't think they, you know, there's a lot of like really bad horror stories with MCNs.
Yeah.
I think
we
of,
never
like,
had one of those.
I think the one I'm thinking of most recently was like the H3 podcast had a big dispute with one of their MCMs where
Yeah.
Really?
they were cutting off more money from their revenue than they were supposed to be contractually. And it turned out that
Oh, I remember
the person
Yeah.
the person that they had hired to do their accounting wasn't doing the job, so they didn't catch it, and found out that their MCN had stolen $600,000 of their
I
revenue.
pocketed so much money.
And it
from
wasn't
them.
just them though. It wasn't mostly.
It
we're
was
talking about the
every
Allied
channel.
thing.
Every
Yeah.
channel they were partnered with.
That's
They were taking more than they were supposed to be, secretly.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
So,
Wild.
It is a lot of money. We never had that kind of problem. But that being
Thankfully.
said,
We never had that kind of money.
Yeah, we never had that kind of money. There was that.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, from all reports again that I've seen, like it really did not start until Full Screen was acquired, because the corporatization bumped up a notch the moment everything just became a cog in the Warner Brothers Discovery machine. And we all can see what their mentality is nowadays. I mean, just look at anything, literally anything. Draw a name out of a hat. Batgirl, Coyote versus Acme,
Gone. Might
like
be
everything.
gone.
They're deleting like all the Adult Swim games.
Off
You
of
know,
Steam.
they wiped out Machinima. They deleted the entire like archive. They privated every video. You know, it's a wrecking ball. And people
don't
are
care.
fully expecting, by the way. I would just say this. Anybody who is a Rooster Teeth fan, there is a 99% chance that every Rooster Teeth video will be wiped from the internet.
Actually, so two things. One, that has actually already been addressed. We have two super chats, both from Delrun Plays, that are talking about this.
Hey, thank you.
Both are $5. Thank you. And the reason I'm bringing these up right now is because they relate. The first is, man, I remember Vessel. Still remember Var's reaction to the dog wedding sign in Undertale. Book clubs were awesome indeed. The second one,
Yeah.
Meso, to address that immediately, if you would like to read this one.
Yeah, by all means. And that's what I was getting to anyway. So great minds think alike.
Fair
Delrin
enough.
Plays.
Sorry for jumping.
On the plus side, it sounds as if fans have managed to back up Rooster Teeth's catalog called Archive of Pimps, so no Machinima repeat.
That's a great name.
That is exactly what I was getting
What the
to.
heck?
There is no reason to assume that the archives and the website and the YouTube channel will not be deleted, which is why people have already been taking it into their own hands. I think they've said that every single piece of Rooster Teeth media will be on that site, including but not limited to first exclusive
I can finally watch
videos,
those videos
behind the scenes like DVD commentaries and like bonus features, shorts, the movies, etc., etc., etc. That's going to be a big ask, and I don't know like the logistical nightmare that must go into that. I don't even want to think about it. Yes, Mary in the chat has deleted videos maybe. Yes, all the videos that were privated because of like old content or language or certain undesirable people in them will be there as well. Everything theoretically, but they're urging people, you know, if it matters to you, if preservation matters to you, leave nothing to chance. Some people I've read aren't even trusting that the archive will catch everything, and they're just making a collection of their favorites for their own sentimentality, you know. And I think it's sad that we live in an era where that has to be a concern. But it feels like the permanence of content is definitely not what it once was. And go ahead, LJ, brag about it.
Yeah.
I will say that it's sad that stuff like that can happen, but we also live in an era where you're able to archive things. I mean, like, before the internet, you could have like fond memories at a mall, and then the mall gets bulldozed. You know what I mean? Like,
That's a good point.
There's literally no seeing it again.
That's a good point.
That's
That's a
fair
good way to
enough.
look at it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to
No
chime in on,
archiving that and putting it in your pocket.
because I forgot about this. So as we were talking, I was just casually scrolling through the Halo subreddit, and I came across this picture that was posted, and it brought back a whole bunch of things. Because look at this picture, and really, I'm sorry, everyone, I'm not going to be able to put it up right now. It's a picture.
Ew, Halo 4.
It's a picture, a promotional image of Halo 4, but at the bottom, it says RTX, July 7th and 8th, 2012, and it has official 343 Microsoft branding.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this company was so influential. They were working with Microsoft. They helped inspire an entire game mode in Halo that people are upset.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
isn't.
dude, freaking Griffball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad to
Timeless.
see the legacy of Griffball on RVB has been so well preserved by modern 343 Industries that has a
No.
robust and thriving Griffball playlist in their hit game
Nice.
Halo Infinite. Oh wait, that isn't the case? Oh, sorry, just salty about that.
I'll go ahead and post it in the YouTube chat for people to see. There's a link to
Yeah.
it.
Why'd you do that, Mesa? Now you made me sad.
I'm still mad about it. That's why.
I mean, there's possibilities that people that weren't on the internet have no idea that Griffball was related to Rooster Teeth at all.
Oh no, I'm sure at some point it
Yeah,
becomes
absolutely.
like self-sustaining, but that's like the beauty of it. You know, it's respecting the roots, but also like acknowledging this thing took on a different life, and that's kind of how Rooster Teeth was as a company. Like, just look at Ruby. Ruby has completely like transcended that company and broke out into its own complete intellectual property and fan base that doesn't have any spillover really with the other kind of content that Rooster Teeth
Like
made.
Red versus Blue. Yeah, there's not
Or
really
the
a lot
Let's
of overlap.
Plays or Achievement Hunter, you know, like it's its
Yeah.
own thing for better or worse. And that franchise, I know lots of us aren't big on Ruby, or at least not
Mhm.
anymore.
Yep.
But I think one thing we can all agree, I hope, even you, LJ,
Mm.
is that it sucks that Ruby might not get an ending.
I think it's the only one that has a chance of being sold off to anybody.
It
I think
is,
the other- I
but
think
there's
the
a
other
lot of
franchises are gonna
maybes.
burn.
Yeah.
It's a lot of maybes. Yeah.
I would like
Maybe-
for it to get sold off and be ended.
Maybe someone
Well-
will make it better.
So that's
Yeah,
the thing.
I
Is
mean,
if somebody
honestly.
buys it, they could just reboot it, and this is just left uncompleted.
Which is what
What I
I
should
think that
happen.
would suck.
It should be rebooted.
I think it should be rebooted after the series ends.
But what,
They
like,
were they were
what-
right on the cusp of ending it. It's at the end.
The
I
thing
think
is, what
it would be very sad if the fan base was denied that after years of being loyal fans of something that, quite frankly, maybe didn't always respect their viewership
But-
as
but-
much as they should have.
And
Well,
then they
what I'm
should make a limited time collectible out of solid gold and sell it.
yeah,
To
give it a trash to people that take pictures
Yeah.
of trash cans.
Give it to somebody who takes a picture of a trash can.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop it.
That's
Stop
how we
it.
should do it.
Get out of my mind.
The I mean, the issue is to somebody that's buying it. What's the point of finishing it and then rebooting after it finishes? Why not just reboot it outright, or
Yeah.
use it as merch? I mean,
I don't
mean,
even
because-
think like the only profitability I could see out of buying Ruby would just be to have distribution rights. You know, like
Yeah.
being able to like sell DVDs and upload it
Merch.
on YouTube and stuff and take ads. I don't see
Valkyrie games.
why anybody would take it on and then
Continue
continue it. That's a lot of money to invest in something that
yeah, it would have to
you
be
know,
a
it's
studio
just
that
gonna
would be
end.
willing to do it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see
I mean,
that
you
happening.
you have to look at like the viability of the IP. Ruby is weirdly viable despite its subpar quality. It's become a merchandising and like licensing juggernaut.
That's yeah.
The DC crossover is just the one thing. It's got a full like actual anime produced by Shaft. It's got like multiple video games, merch lines, Nindroids, Crunchyrolls, like doing stuff with it. There's manga, there's spin-off books, there's like all sorts. Merchandise would be the biggest reason, but to make merchandise, you need the product being in the cultural like zeitgeist.
I would disagree because there's stuff like Hunter x Hunter that has not had really any movement in the last like
the only
still stays
buyer
merch.
that I could think of that I could like say that there's a chance they might produce more Ruby from buying it would be Netflix. That's basically the only other company I could think of. I can't
Yeah,
think
what
of
about
any company that
Amazon?
would. Maybe
I
Amazon.
see a lot of people,
Yeah, maybe
uh,
Amazon.
A lot of people are saying A24, who produced Has Been
Okay.
Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
getting a lot of
I could
movement.
totally see that.
I
Well,
can see that.
This
yeah.
one's a long shot, and I don't think it's gonna work. But there's an animator by the name of Dylan Gu who now owns a production company, Dylan Gu Studio. He's like really big right now, doing animations for Genshin Impact. I think they're like fan animations, but even still, he worked on Ruby. He worked on Ruby Volume 3 after Monty's death. He did a lot of the fight
think
scenes in
He
Volume
was
3.
protege of Monty, wasn't he?
He was. He has outright said on Twitter, "I want to buy Ruby." Now,
Oh wow.
Does he have the capital for it?
I
Yeah,
don't
does he have
think
the
he
money
even
for that?
I don't think he remotely has the money for it. Nor do
Yes,
I
no.
think Warner Brothers would ever sell it to
I
him.
don't.
But it's getting some traction, and people are like, "Oh, we'll crowdfund it."
No,
I'm
no,
like,
no, don't crowdfund.
People don't know how
No.
much that's gonna
Yeah.
take.
Dude,
That's
Yeah,
millions of
that is
dollars.
more money than you can imagine.
No, the issue too is I could see people crowdfunding a lot of money, and then he tries to buy it, doesn't work out, and maybe he just doesn't like. I don't want to say anything.
Yeah, he just
Then
has a
where
bunch
does
of
that money go?
Yeah, he just now he has a bunch of money to make a Genshin Impact.
Hello, everyone.
I doubt
I've got
that.
a
You know what?
brand,
You know what?
brand
No,
new
guys,
series.
I got this. I got this. I will,
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
the kindness of my own heart, start the crowdfunding campaign. and
No,
I
no,
promise-
me. I will do it.
I
wouldn't
promise
allow you to
I will
burden
give the
yourself.
money to Dylan Goo. I promise. You can trust
No,
me.
you can't burden yourself with that bar. Let me do it. You're my friend. I won't allow that to happen to you.
Epic.
Hey.
The other
Here's my
entity I'm
PayPal.
seeing tossed around is Crunchyroll, and I'm not sure how viable that
Does
is.
Crunchyroll do their own animations?
They did like one or two. I
Because
don't think they
here's the
went
thing.
well.
I guess like
They
I
have
guess
some stake in Ruby currently because Ruby Volume 9 was distributed exclusively through Crunchyroll. I think
Mhm.
they're just saying just deepen that partnership, but I don't know how viable that
The
is.
thing is,
Yeah,
do they
'cause
have a
it's like- I
studio to
guess
even
the-
make it?
the thing that I'm thinking of is like, yeah, like how would you make it? Because like that Ruby is unique in the fact that it's a fully 3D animated like anime style thing. So
Mhm.
like there's not really a lot of companies currently producing shows that look or feel like Ruby and use the same technology as Ruby.
Yeah.
At least not any Western companies. I mean, there might be some
True.
Mhm.
Eastern companies that could do it, but I don't know if they'd be willing to buy Ruby.
Yeah. It's a tough
Not with that
situation.
attitude. Let's get that Kickstarter going.
I just feel bad
Man.
for the fan base. That's all. I think about an alternate universe where like if the worst had really come to pass in 09 and Greg hadn't been able to convince Lego and Greg and Binkmeister hadn't been able to convince him to do the stars and Bionicle just ended with like the 4th movie and we didn't get an
Oh,
ending. Like
really?
that would have
have a
messed me up for
great-
years.
I have a great idea, Meso.
Mhm.
Let's crowdfund the return of
Bionicle.
Bionicle. We'll
A third
buy
time.
it from Lego.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Honestly, so Meso, I'll say, I can agree
Easy.
with the. Is it sympathy? I think it's sympathy.
Yes, that's
I-
the emotion
Yeah.
I'm conveying.
Okay, fantastic. It's easy for me to mix up sympathy and empathy. They're so close. But yeah,
That's
I'm sympathetic to Ruby fans for that reason. That is fair. Also, Ruby is not good enough for it to not get a reboot. I'm gonna be honest. That is my
I mean,
opinion
I
on
agree
that.
with you.
I think they just need to cut their losses, and whoever buys it just start fresh, and it could potentially be
I just
even
don't think
bigger
there's
than
any.
it is.
I just don't see the logistical
Yeah.
path to continuing it without rebooting it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It would be there's a lot of gray area. I guess it would determine what actually gets like sold. What does Warner Brothers own? Could they sell the models?
Yeah,
Could
I
they
guess
sell
it'd be like-
the
Yeah, I mean, I would assume they'd get
could
the
they,
assets.
like, get all the assets? Would
Probably
the
get
voice
everything,
actors?
yeah.
The actors would still like potentially come back. Like they all are invested in
Well,
continuing it.
I would
Well-
assume that the actors are under contracts, and
Mhm.
unless
Well, the contracts would be with the company that no longer is functioning. So those
yeah,
contracts are null.
exactly. That's what I was getting at. Is contracts with Rooster Teeth, maybe not necessarily contracts with. So what I'm saying is they might get 4 kids.
Yeah, no, they almost certainly would. They almost certainly would.
Oh
That
boy.
means we could get a
It would be
Ruby
like
wrap.
with I mean, you can look at Has Been Hotel that just did the same thing where they had a voice acting cast, but once they got sold to A24, they got replaced with
Yeah.
more well-known actors.
And that's definitely the issue, is because the Ruby fan base, a lot of their attachment to the show is not because of the show. That's my, like, as a Ruby fan, I can say that, and hopefully it won't be taken as offensive.
That's
don't really
offensive,
like
Nessa, I
you
can't
don't
stand
really
you.
like it because
Who are you
of
to
the
speak for
quality
us
of
RWBY
the
fans?
show. You like it because of like the heart that goes into the show.
I don't know why
You
you're
like
laughing,
it because
LJ.
you like it because people care. You like it because of Monty Ohm. You like it because of his legacy, his contribution to the medium. A lot of these things are very founded in emotion, and they're emotion that Warner Brothers Discovery does not remotely care about.
Mhm.
And that's going to be the issue
Dang.
when it gets sold. They will probably recast the roles. They probably won't continue it.
Well,
like you're saying, they'll probably change the medium entirely. And I don't know. I think that probably is for the greater good of the IP
greater
because
good.
Ruby's full of
not
wasted
necessarily.
potential. But I feel bad for the fans, and I feel bad for the
You can
people who
look at,
wanted to honor Monty.
You can look at Netflix Avatar as an example of what a completely detached studio can do with an IP they own.
Yeah.
How did the anime do for Ruby? Was that received well by non-Ruby fans?
Critically, yes, but I have no clue how it actually did.
Because maybe
Viewership-wise.
the thing with that is
Ruby on the CW.
That's
like,
about right.
if a purchaser looks at that when they try to deviate from the mainline stuff and did their own offshoot and it didn't do that well in views and merchandising, what benefit
It's a
is
good
it to even
question.
try something new?
I don't
Like-
think we have any like metric based data for Ice Queendom, which was the anime spinoff. The people who watched it seemed to like it, but it put off other
Did
people.
you
Like,
watch
I know
it, Mesta?
Mary had like no interest in it. I watched it.
Okay.
It was produced about as well as any other Shaft anime, from what I'm to understand.
I only saw one episode, but of the episode, I can't really speak to the writing or anything, but of the actual production, like animation-wise, I thought it was far superior. I would have preferred the show to be made like that
Okay.
over
Agreed.
the 3D model stuff.
I do think the change of medium is probably one of the first things they'll look at.
Yeah,
I think
because
so too.
Ruby is like, it's very ugly in my opinion,
Yeah.
and it
Of,
hasn't aged well.
of the other IPs,
Haven't
that
seen
Rooster
Ruby
Teeth
in
has,
years.
I don't expect any of the other ones to sell. Red versus Blue, I don't even expect the ending to come out.
No, that is coming out.
It is
Believe it or
confirmed
not.
done. It is
They
confirmed
say-
going to be
Well, okay,
coming out.
Okay, confirmed done and confirmed to be coming out could change with Warner
Yes.
Bros. Discovery.
Okay, that's a fair
Yeah.
point.
We do
That's
know
fair.
this.
They have a habit of not releasing things that are already
Thank
finished.
you.
We can't really assume anything because of Coyote versus Acme.
Yeah.
And
Batgirl.
Batgirl, like the Batgirl one is still crazy. Like where they, from what I understand, they were at the directors were at a wedding or something, and they're like, "Yeah, movie's gone." And they went to check, and everything was just gone.
I
No
can't
backup, no
believe
nothing.
that happened.
Which is insane. And obviously, Coyote
So
versus Acme
messed
is
up,
such
dude.
a disaster right now.
I hate this
Um,
concept of just writing things off for like tax purposes.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
make
like
sense.
what is this?
It really doesn't.
Why
Make
is
sense.
Well,
why
that's
is
what
this becoming
happens when
such
you
a
tie-
big thing now?
When you tie art to business.
To an intrinsic value. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they only see the value, the monetary value, not the
There
actual
was-
like artistic value of it.
There was that
Yeah.
whole thing as well a few weeks ago where a lot of the Red versus Blue content, I think, when you have to pay to watch on YouTube, which was
Yeah,
odd.
that's been a whole thing. It's
That was-
convoluted. I don't really want to.
No.
TLDR, they've edited a lot of it for content over the years, and they've changed a lot of the risque jokes. They've cut
Oh,
stuff
really?
out, and then they've repackaged and consolidated it into chunks that they've put on various different streaming services. To my knowledge, that's the only way to officially watch it now.
I'm sorry.
If you want to watch the original versions, yeah, you heard me.
of RVB.
You heard me. To my understanding, the only versions that are on YouTube are the edited versions, and the versions on the RT site might still be the original, but I don't know.
Oh wow.
I actually did revisit some of RVB on YouTube, or well, as much as I could at least, which was like maybe the first few episodes before I got paywalled. I'm not sure what changes exactly you're referring to, but I did notice that this was uncensored.
Oh no,
when it
yeah,
came
I'm
to
not.
language and stuff.
Don't worry, I'm not
but-
talking about language. I'm
Oh, I see.
secondhand from the Reddit. I might be getting fed misinformation. Don't sue me. It's apparently some jokes have been cut.
Oh, okay.
I'm surprised that they kept some of the jokes that they did. I will say that. Because I didn't know that they cut anything. I was just like, wow, that joke did not age well.
I mean, we're-
But anyway, I did notice on Prime Video they have all of RVB, but it's the language is censored. There's like bleeps everywhere.
What?
Yeah,
it's
it
so
was
strange.
so annoying.
This is
I
a
was
thing.
trying to watch it and I was
That's
like, why?
wild. I
So-
see. For me, oh gosh, that's so strange. I can't imagine watching RVB like that because to me, the bleep, the censor,
Yeah, it was-
is so funny. Like I just see that as like a comedic tool. And so that,
Yeah,
but,
I
but
mean-
that's a very specific style of comedy, and that is not RVB.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it was definitely off-putting. I had to get used to it.
The moral of the story ultimately is that there's a lot of uncertainty about the company, their properties, their videos, their content, the people, what's going to happen to the people. Hopefully they'll all be able to find
I hope so.
new employment elsewhere because they seem like a bunch of talented people.
Mhm.
I will say, I would consider myself a lapsed RT fan because I haven't been invested in them now for a good few years besides Ruby. I do think it's a bit of a shame that their last few years were mired so much by controversy. Not to say they didn't deserve some of it, because absolutely, from what we've heard, that company culture was definitely far from ideal.
Yeah.
But watching that like goodbye live stream did kind of like pull on the heartstrings, because it does seem the people at the company, especially all the new faces, were legitimately trying to just like breathe new life, make their own way, carve their own new identity, and they seem like funny, genuine people.
Yeah, I mean
And,
that's the end of it right there. The
think
bottom
that
line
is-
is they
it's
are
over.
people. They are human.
Yeah.
And
Unfortunately, I do think that is part of the problem as well, though. It's like you can't really carve your own path out of the corpse of someone else's path. You know what I mean? Like,
It's like a ship of Theseus.
yeah, you can't really do it. It's not gonna
Um,
work because the only thing
the-
when people subscribe to something for that thing, and you're no longer making that thing, there's no reason for them to stay. You
Or
can't
That's
just,
why
like-
I
no longer
didn't stay.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
we, said
you
that,
know.
we went through that. That's what happened with our channel.
You're right.
Ironically enough, we followed the Rooster Teeth model even then.
I was just about to bring up Biocraft.
Yeah.
Biocraft, yeah.
I mean, Biocraft was
every other thing that
yeah.
we've done.
We need to
We
get on
must
the
have-
Biocraft DVDs.
Oh my gosh.
We need to
that's
make
right.
DVDs.
I definitely at one point want some DVDs just so that we have some DVDs. I think we owe Crunchbite a DVD if I remember correctly. It's like way back,
What? No
way
way.
back when, like when we were doing
Makuta
Makuta Fest. One of the
and he's
prizes was a Biocraft DVD.
Wait, really?
Why was that a
Seriously,
prize?
I don't know.
Oh my
it just
gosh.
it was.
That is
LJ,
a
you
prize
dropped the
from the-
ball.
That's a prize from a completely different era of life.
Seriously.
Like, imagine a DVD. Like, who wants a DVD? Who
Might as well
owns a
just have
DVD
VHS.
player?
No,
Well, I mean,
yeah.
Every console is a
Nah,
DVD
dude. At this
player.
rate, we might as well put it on VHS.
Let's
go the
do it.
extra mile.
If you still want it, Crunchbite, we
I
can
would
make that
love
right.
to
There
have
was- there was-
Biocraft on VHS.
there was
That'd
someone
be life
else.
fulfilling.
There was someone else. I don't remember who it was. It was oh gosh, another mockist that it was entering like a Marindar contest. I don't remember their name. I'm not gonna try to remember it now. But yeah, no, that was a prize that we offered to people. Like, if you win, you could get a Biocraft DVD.
That was a
That's-
prize
that's-
that you offered to people.
Okay,
I didn't
no,
say anything.
that was
means
what
you're producing it.
We
Yeah, that was
offered to
you.
people.
No, that was you, big boy.
We
You can-
That was you, Mr. Director.
Okay, listen. That was us, Mister.
Actually,
Co-director.
no, that's wrong.
Oh my gosh.
Prove it.
ratio.
Name all directions.
Numbers. No, but yeah, no. Let's do it. Let's put Biocraft on VHS and DVD.
Let's
Yes,
do it.
you have my vote.
Do I have
There
your vote? Is
were,
this a me thing or a we thing?
Well, it's a you thing for sure. Because
Okay.
if it doesn't work out, then I ain't taking.
Everyone's getting
Two other.
that. I
Biocraft
ain't
on.
taking that L.
Everyone is getting Biocraft on VHS except for Ven. You get it on a thumb
I'll pay for it. I don't care.
He gets it on laser.
I'll make my own.
drive.
I still
There
have.
were,
I still have the raw files. I'll export it right now. I'll render it again.
there were Two other super chats real fast, both from Delrin Plays. Thank you very much, as always, for your support. It says, "Oh, believe me, I'm not relying on archives alone. Thankfully, I've managed to secure seasons 1 through 14 of RVB and RWBY volumes 1 through 3 on disc. Props."
Okay.
And then he says, "Honestly,
up.
get RWBY some good writers and do a reboot. As someone who's enjoyed the original Battlestar Galactica, it can work." Yeah, I mean, I could talk about RWBY all day, and maybe in the future we will if we do like a TTV talks about it. But the concept was never the problem. Perfectly fine concept. Its execution was categorically botched.
I don't even remember what happened in that show.
Nothing.
I watched
The only
seasons.
things that eventually happened years after you stopped watching. I wouldn't say there was really a plot until volume 6, and
Yeah,
even
that's,
then,
I don't
volume
even know what
7.
it was
Are you
about.
serious?
Just like,
Dude, I'm
Yeah,
not
no.
joking.
That was the
Not
problem with
joking.
RWBY, is that it was a concept. It was never an actual show. Like, it
that's
wasn't
the thing.
developed
I just remember
show.
character designs looking kind of cool, and then that was
Yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah, that was basically it. That was the
You
idea.
gotta realize that RWBY was incepted as Monty's way of making a show with characters he actually owned, because before then he was making the series called Dead Fantasy, which was using characters from Dead or Alive and Final Fantasy in his fight scenes. It was a vessel for him to express character design, animation work, and fight scenes.
Yeah, it was
And
never.
that was the artistry. The show was the plot, quote unquote, was just meant to connect the scenes in a way that makes sense.
Yeah.
RoosterTeeth were the people that wanted to make it more of a juggernaut, and I mean, I'm sure he went along with it, but certain things. Remember that open letter from Shane Newville? Certain things imply that he wasn't necessarily on board with the direction it was going, and ultimately we'll never know because he's unfortunately
it was never
gone.
conceptualized as a narrative show, like with a plot that was supposed to go places.
it was a portfolio project.
Basically.
Okay.
And when Monty passed away, they couldn't match his level of choreography, so they leaned into the plot aspect to try to make it a show. And by that point, the foundation wasn't solid because they hadn't established it early.
What season?
They
was that?
basically they retconned a plot into a thing that had no plot, and it didn't make any sense. Like, it was. It was directionless.
In interviews, they have self-admitted that before Volume 3, they had no clue about the concept of big, important facets of the show's story, like the maidens, the people who have like magical powers, and the relics, which is what the entire show is about. So we're talking 3rd year minimum was when they even conceptualized the bare bones like plot structure.
Dang,
and then it took years to execute on it. But anyway,
that's brutal.
Point
They
is,
should have just rebooted it after Monty passed. Like,
I
guess I can understand why they wouldn't want to do that, but
it was that would have been the time. Situation. As much as I bag on them, I don't envy the decision. Like I said, a lot of it was founded in emotion more than practicality, trying to pay tribute to your friend and coworker and the legions of people who liked his stuff. I criticize the product, but I don't know that I would have done any better in their shoes. Point is, in summary, and to wrap up this discussion, a lot of good times. Were there bad times? Yeah. Did the company kind of fall off? Yeah. Did we all kind of move on from it? In a lot of ways, yeah. But I could walk down memory lane any day and think about the good times and the stuff I enjoyed. And there is a lot of memory and history there, especially for internet culture. And I'm sad that it will be gone.
I do actively listen to their podcasts.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Are they good quality?
It's the one Rooster Teeth thing that I'm still consuming. Yeah, I mean, I listen to 3 regularly. The Bleep Face podcast.
I was curious how you were going to do that. Thank you for
very good. I like that podcast a lot. It's very funny. It's very Achievement Hunter, peak Achievement Hunter vibes. So that's good. Red Web, which is okay. Not my favorite podcast, but they do like true crime and internet mysteries and stuff. It's all right. And then the other one that I was watching, but they finished it, was Black Box Down, which was like a podcast about airplane crashes and stuff.
Oh,
It's just
wow.
interesting stuff. Yeah.
Show that one to GL. She might find that interesting.
Yeah. I actually think I recommended it to GL at one point. But,
Oh,
Did
well, there
they?
you go.
so.
Did you
Anyway,
ever?
But yeah, no, I like this podcast.
Did you ever listen to an
Podcasts.
episode? Did they ever do an episode about the Concorde? There you go.
I'm sure they did. I
Okay.
don't quite remember.
That's
Ah.
all right.
Yeah, I was just curious. That's all.
Kaboom.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff they're still making, and there's a lot of good people that are still making it. There was this entire group that I had no clue. I've never even heard of them before, but they were on the Goodbye stream, and I checked them out. It was like Best Friends Today, I think.
Yeah, I
their
didn't
name
hear
is.
about them before either. Until that stream.
Those guys are funny. I was like crying with laughter on the Goodbye stream whenever they would say like 2 words.
Yeah,
and I
they
went
were
to go
really funny.
check their channel, and like they have a ton of
Oh,
stuff.
are you talking about those not
Yeah, the
kids,
young-
but, like
the
super
young
young
kids.
dudes?
Yeah. It's definitely
Yeah,
more like
those two are funny.
modern styling, and like
They
they
also
were
have-
carving out of fan base.
None of us are really D&D people except for Takuma, right? But they have a D&D podcast too, which is
I like
apparently
D&D.
incredibly wow. Apparently it's incredibly successful. Like
Why do you sound so disappointed?
like on Ruby levels, it's like successful. Like,
Wait,
and
who
I've
does
never listened to
Teeth?
it. Yeah, Rooster Teeth. They have Tales of the
Yeah, but-
Stinky Dragon is apparently like really.
Oh, that's Rooster Teeth. Oh, okay.
Oh,
I've
I
never
didn't.
watched-
I didn't realize that was related to
Takuma just like
D&D.
clicking in, like, I know what we're talking about now.
Takuma
Well,
gives
you
us a
go
photo-
on and on about Rooster Teeth for forever. The only thing I can remember about Rooster Teeth is you threw it against the wall like a wet paper towel.
But yeah, like based off conversations I've heard them have on their podcast, from what I understand, Tales of the Stinky Dragon is currently their most profitable thing.
That's crazy,
They
actually.
use like the little puppets or whatever.
Well, yeah, apparently, yeah, they did a spin-off like a puppet like show thing now that's also very popular. So
That's wild.
I've literally
That's
never
awesome.
listened to a single episode before.
That-
So that kind of goes to show you like the reach Rooster Teeth can have, like
Yeah.
a thing that is incredibly popular, one of their most popular things. And as a fan of the company, I have never even thought about listening or watching it.
Well, that's the beauty of like, it's the beauty and the curse of like the brand separation. Like Takuma, that name reminded you of something, but you had no clue it was Rooster
be-
Teeth. Like,
well, to be
guarantee you're
fair,
not
someone-
the only one.
I found out about it through somebody else.
But even still, it's the brand separation. When you have an idea that transcends it, that's where it can still be profitable.
And now
And
that
I don't
I'm
know.
thinking about it was probably during a discussion about Rooster Teeth. My memory sucks.
You're okay.
I'm 34. I'm getting old.
I just hope that the
You
people
are an
who
old
got
man.
laid off and the talented people, they can bounce back and do their own thing and keep that content alive if it's good and people enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess we'll have to wait and see if that pans out. But I don't know. That's all I got. We could go on for longer, like especially if Mary was here. Mary, like she was super into it. She was a
What a
major
nerd.
Rooster Teeth fan, which surprised me. I don't know.
Wait,
I didn't realize
really?
she was. Yeah. Like she was a hardcore fan of Rooster Teeth, like all the way back during like the
Evil.
heavy like achievement hunter days.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's affected everybody in different ways. I just like
Mhm.
to remember the good times and R.I.P.
R.I.P.
That's really all I gotta
Yeah.
say.
Good luck to everyone.
Dude, it's like SourceFed. It's like SourceFed all over again.
Yeah.
Which
Sad.
means there are going to be a few people. That's a good news. Like a lot of the personalities, I think will be able to land on their feet a little bit because they're kind of already in not the circle, but they're in the network in a sense. But my heart goes out to the folks behind the scenes because that is going to be a lot harder for them, especially with the state of the industry as it is.
Yep.
That's
Well,
the
it's not just the
problem.
industry; it's the state of everything in the world.
No, yeah, sure, yeah.
It's worse.
You okay there, Leo? You need to talk, buddy.
No, I am almost a federal employee, so it doesn't matter.
Ah, great. We're dealing with a Fed.
The feds have been listening in this whole time.
Leo's the
gosh.
resident TTV Fed.
The gosh dang government's listening to
They're
us
coming
again.
for your couch, Meso.
Oh no, not the couch!
Your money laundered couch.
They've come to repo it.
Repo the
Epic.
couch. Did he got out a
Not my
loan,
hard-earned
a
couch.
loan from the government to get a couch.
Don't
There's
take
a
my
lot
couch.
of money in that couch.
Yeah, speaking of money, super chat from Magic Ninja, who says Biocraft BTS. Yeah, we were talking about the lost Biocraft stuff.
I mean,
She has BTS Biocraft footage.
I
is
don't
pretty cool.
remember any of the cast of BTS doing any musical numbers for Biocraft.
Okay.
Okay. Purple in the back, like, hey,
Purple.
get this guy out of here.
All right.
Call security.
Vin, Var. I don't know if either of you care to talk about it too much. I know you don't, Vin, but maybe you do, Var.
Oh, cool.
Avatar.
I said no to the right thing.
Do you want to talk about your opinions on Avatar at all? Because you've seen it. I think you're the only ones, right?
I mean, I didn't finish it, so that kind of already tells you
Wow.
a lot.
Yeah, there you go. That's reasonable. Suffice to say, not a fan.
No, it's really bad. I think the people saying that it's worse than the Shyamalan movie need to go back and watch the Shyamalan movie.
The Shyamalan movie is horrible.
It is the Shyamalan movie might be one of the worst movies ever made. So it's not that bad. It is very bad though. It is not good.
It definitely feels like a product of actual Avatar fans, but
Yes.
it's made by Avatar fans that don't know how to write.
Yeah,
Epic.
That's really funny.
The thing that occurred to me, but Purple brought it up while we were watching, is that like, it's very like amateurish. It feels like, to me, like it feels like it's everybody's first time making a show. Like from the
Ruby made it?
writers, it's the
Or
first
not?
time they've written an episode or of TV. It's like the first time the directors have ever like directed something. Like it feels like it's everybody's first time. And
Yeah.
like it sucks because like you can tell someone there really cared and wanted to make a good show. They didn't have the experience or the they just didn't have the experience to do it. Like you can just it's
Only
so
bit
amateur.
far.
I think
Which is weird because it's obviously got a very big budget. Like the special effects look great.
Yeah,
The casting was fine. I mean, the acting was kind of bad. Like once again, feels like it's their first big project, right? Like all the actors, this is their first.
Yeah, it definitely
big
felt like
role.
they were
Yeah.
sticking with the first take on a lot of in a lot of
Yeah.
scenes.
Gotcha.
And honestly, when it comes to bad acting, I almost always attribute that to direction more than the actual actors are, with performance. And I think the direction is the biggest problem. No, actually, I take that back. The writing is the biggest problem. The writing in
for
this
sure.
show is so bad.
There's some
So
directing
bad.
decisions that are really cool in this show.
Yeah, there
and
are.
when they happen, it's like you're happy to be an Avatar fan if you're coming from the original show, because it's like it'll be things that you kind of always wanted to see. In a way, you get one of those in episode 2. I feel like you get another one later on, and it's like those are nice. Those are good moments. Those are the moments that tell me, okay, there are some people that care for the original, and they just wanted to adapt this part of the old lore, I guess, in a way that we just never saw before. That much I can appreciate about the show. That's the biggest thing, aside from the special effects and the faithfulness to the overall plot, that makes me go, this is way better than Shyamalan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for me, it does fall flat when it comes to the writing overall. It's very inconsistent, and there's so many questionable decisions that they
There's
make.
so many weird decisions that they made. I don't understand at all why they did it the way they did. The worst part to me is that the live action show and the animated show have almost the exact same runtime. So there's like really no
Yeah.
justification at all for why the writing is so bad.
That's really
Like,
funny to me.
They literally could have just remade like shot for shot the animated show and it would have been better.
Yeah.
So I don't know why the writing is as bad as it is. There's no justification for it.
I do have some thoughts about them adapting the old story that have, I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about this show because after I finished watching it, Sam and I just jumped straight into the original and started rewatching that and then Legend of
Nice.
Korra. And I just think that they shouldn't have bothered trying so hard to rehash the original story like one to one. I think pivotal moments, sure, do those. But honestly, if they wanted to do something fresh, don't change the important stuff from the story. Just like add to it. Throw Aang on some new adventures with his friends that we didn't see in the old show. You know, maybe try to draw up something new, but with the goal of demonstrating their character. Because that's the thing that this show really misses is that they just jump through the old plot like beat for beat, but then they drop all of the character development. You know, the main cast has like no charisma with each other, and you don't understand why they really become friends. You know, they just they drop all of that.
So
I read someone had an opinion that was like it feels like the show was produced by fans of the later seasons of the cartoon and they were like making the first season out of obligation, but really they just want to get to the good stuff. So
Dude,
they're
I
kind of
felt
just
that
like,
so hard when they started sprinkling bits of the later parts of the show
Yeah.
into this season. I was
Yeah,
like,
they did
why are
that.
we already here? This should come up later. Why is this thing here? This should show up later. I was
they
like,
don't know
what?
how to pace the show because they want to get to the stuff that everybody remembers.
I can forgive one little thing, and it's that there's flashbacks that happen in the show that in the original they come up in the later seasons. And I think the reason why they do it now is because the actors are all still young and they want to take advantage of
That's
the
an
fact that
interesting
they still look
point.
young. Yeah. Like, you know, I didn't understand, this isn't a spoiler because it's already out there, but I didn't understand why at first they put Azula here so soon until I kind of thought about it. I was like, well, if they wanted to develop Azula or show her off a little bit, I guess now would be the time to do it before she gets older. And then you kind of understand her character a bit more later. But that was one of those things where I was like, why do we have Azula? Why she comes up later? Her character arc, or not, I don't know if you can call it an arc, but the exploration of her character comes up later. Why are we doing it now? And then I don't know. Then I kind of thought about that stuff.
I mean, it's like the age-old adage, right? It's like change is not unilaterally bad.
No,
I think it's fine to make some decisions, especially from the medium. Like, one of the things I've heard that doesn't bug me, personally, is the comet not being a part of the show. Because it's very obvious to me why it's not a part of the show. And it's because they're going to do significant time gaps in between each season. And the reason they're going to do that is to get around the cast aging. That just seems like a no-brainer to me. Even if they do back-to-back, just by how long filming takes, they're going to get older. And if you remove the comet, you remove the need for everything to be real-time. I can get that change.
I guess
I mean, the comet is in it though.
yeah.
Is
I was
it?
gonna
Okay,
say
I'm
that.
going
Maybe
off
I'm
what I've read online.
misremembering the purpose of the comet in the animated show.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure the comet is a no. Yeah, that's right. Somebody in the patron chat just mentioned it. It gets brought up in the last. I remember now. It's brought up at like the very last moment. Okay, spoiler. Last moment of.
Fine, nobody cares.
Of the last episode, and as it's like played off as like a big reveal. Like, oh, this is
Yeah.
what
Alright,
Ozai's
fair
been up
And
to.
it's also at the start of the show. Yeah, Monner mentioned it in the chat. It's when they raid the air temple, the comet is the reason why they're doing that because they're strong because of it.
Yeah, which I gotta say, that's weird because if it's in the first episode, I don't know why they felt the need to play it off like a big reveal in the last episode. That part really confused me. It's
Well,
like,
because
are we not supposed to know that, or
I
were we
well,
not
okay,
supposed
so I haven't watched the last episode because I stopped watching halfway through. So I don't know how it goes, but I assume like because they open the show with the start of the war being kicked off by the fact that the Fire Nation is super powerful because of the comet, the big reveal that the comet is coming back does kind of add tension to the show because now as a viewer you understand that
Maybe that's
this
what it
means
was, yeah.
that the Fire Nation is about to be super powerful again.
Yeah, that makes
So,
sense.
I think that's what they're going for there, having not
Fair
seen
enough.
it.
Yeah,
I'm probably not gonna watch
just
it
going
again,
off
so I'll take your
articles.
word for it.
Yeah.
I got mixed feelings about the fact that we're actually getting a season 2 and 3 for it. You
When
know,
they
that-
committed this far
that's
in,
confirmed.
they weren't gonna not see it through unless it was just a complete flop.
Yeah,
And
like
it does seem
it's
to
like
be
I
doing
saw that
better
coming.
than your average adaptation.
Yeah, I just hope that they, we're already on this train. I just hope that it gets the
Yeah,
ride gets
I
smoother
hope they
from here.
see the criticism and adjust accordingly.
Do
Because
you
like
think
I
there's a
said, like
chance?
well, like the show has a lot of potential, and I think it's kind of why it's so frustrating for me to get through. Because like
Yeah.
the cast, the acting was off, but I think the casting was really good. Like every character looks like the characters. They sound like the characters. They just need better
Oh.
things to say.
At least to the main characters, yeah. I definitely don't like all the casting myself.
Like who?
Oh man, Boomy.
Oh yeah, well yeah. Well,
And
they-
every
they-
other character that's supposed to be old, but they don't cast an old person. They just make a middle-aged person the old person with old makeup, and it's really weird.
Yeah, they make.
I love old makeup.
It's fine, okay? Because the scale is sliding. For instance, ask Mary. We're all ancient to her.
So true. She always
Sorry,
calls me
I-
an LJ the old man.
There's so many things that frustrate me because I agree with
Correct.
Var. Like it's almost good, and it's like frustrating to see that they could have it easily could have been so much better.
Like the elements are there, right? Like the costume
Yeah.
design's pretty good. The cast is decent. Like the music is good.
Oh,
the
the
action
music
is
is
good.
so
the
good.
effects are good. Like they're able to
The
do the
effects
like
are
the
so
bending.
good.
Like they have the right stuff. They have everything to work with. They're just the people there to work with the stuff don't know what they're doing. That's the
They
problem.
got all the pieces to the Lego, but they're building it backwards.
Yeah, they don't have the instructions to follow. They're just kind of winging it, you know, like it's there. Like they have it. They can make a good show. They just aren't doing it yet.
Where's my penguin sledding?
Hey,
Come on.
no fun allowed. You stop having fun.
Why did they give Momo chimpanzee sounds? You know,
Why?
like,
Okay. Why is the writing like? Why can't they just show us? Why do they tell us everything?
Dude, that's a phenomenon with
That's
shows
an issue with
nowadays.
nowadays, yeah.
You want to know another show that really did that badly? Percy Jackson.
Oh man, are we gonna get into Percy Jackson now?
I don't have a lot to say about it, but I liked it more than most. I
That's
feel.
already really funny.
I'm actually, I think, kinder to it than a lot of people are on the internet. Like me and LJ and Mary, me and LJ had fun watching it. I
Yeah,
don't think
I
Mary
enjoyed
liked it much at
so
all. But
you and LJ watched it together, huh? You didn't want to invite.
You were too busy hanging
oh,
out with your
man.
cool new friends, Ven.
I was watching it with Sam,
Oh, okay, cool.
my fiance.
Uh-huh. Are we not your fiancés, Ven? Huh? From way back
No.
when?
Oh my gosh.
yeah, we liked it more than I think a lot of people on the internet did. However, it is definitely another show that's emblematic of tell not show, to the point where they would literally just like restructure things needlessly just to avoid showing anything,
I guess
and it is very noticeable.
It
at
really-
times.
You totally felt the low budget on that show.
it really helped.
It's annoying.
No,
Sorry,
go
go
ahead, Var. You can.
Well, I was just gonna say 'cause it's annoying though because like there's not even like the idea of a budget being a problem because like the thing that sticks out to me in Avatar is like there's a scene where Aang is like, I'm just a kid. I like having fun and playing with friends. I don't want to have the responsibility. I don't want to be the Avatar. And I'm just like, You literally could have just shown him running around playing tag with people, and that would have conveyed the same thing. You didn't need to have him tell us that. Just show us him having fun with other like airbenders, and then how
what he does in the OG show, just immediately
literally
the first thing he says to Katara is, "You want to go penguin sledding?"
Exactly. Like, just you can convey that by like just having him be him. You don't need to tell us.
I think the issue with that is the writers probably doubt the audience. They might think the audience is not smart enough to pick up on cues like that.
But didn't they want the same audience that liked Game of Thrones? Wasn't that one of the things they said?
Did they say that? That is a weird thing to say about a cartoon show.
Yeah, but then that audience would not want to watch a show if the main character is, like you said, wanting to penguin sled.
Let me find the quote, because it was hilarious.
That's a weird quote.
But yeah, like there's a lot of like instances of things like that where the character is like giving us his personality instead of just acting it out, and like there's no budgetary reason for that. Like you can have a scene where Aang is just playing. Like you don't need to tell us that.
Yeah.
Here's the quote from one of the showrunners, Albert Kim. He says, when describing the show and the goals that they had behind it, so for us, it was about striking that right balance of making sure you were true to the DNA of the original. But at the same time, we had to make it a serialized Netflix drama, which meant it couldn't just be for kids. It had to also appeal to the people who are big fans of Game of Thrones. And so it had to feel grounded and mature and adult in that way, too.
As if Avatar was none of those things? Like, it was all of those things.
So that's why they did a lot of telling, not showing, because they think adults are dumb.
Yeah, like apparently they think adults can't understand.
Which,
that makes no sense.
I mean, to their credit, we all work with the public. It's not wrong.
No, yeah. Certain people can...
Days are behind me.
No, sorry.
Yeah,
start bragging about it,
Takuma. I mean, listen...
I will.
Good. Game of Thrones viewers have an IQ that you would not even be able to like truly capture. LJ, there's like they're beyond, they're above and beyond what you could comprehend.
You know, I remember.
I'm like, okay, I mean, obviously not. We don't not on that level, but like a Game of Thrones viewer, if someone who is a fan of Game of Thrones can understand subtext, we don't need to spell it out.
There's a reason why those last few seasons got such a bad rap, is because the writing fell off. They focused more on the spectacle than anything.
The audience was savvy enough to know when things had changed, and their investment fell off as a result.
Yep.
Is House of the Dragon coming back? Did that like do well enough?
I think that is. I think it's coming back this year. June, right? Cool. I think it's in June.
I'm secondhand invested in the rehabilitation of the Game of Thrones franchise.
I was totally out on Game of Thrones, but House of the Dragon was really good. Yeah, like really, really good. So I'm very excited for season 2.
I agree. It was very quite good.
It definitely felt like we were back at the good Game of Thrones.
Watching, I was like, oh, it's good to be back.
yeah, we were back. It was great. It was awesome.
Well, I appreciate the thoughts on Avatar. I was just curious to kind of get a pulse, because I know we talked about it last time before it had come out. I wanted to follow up on that.
Yeah, like I said, it's not the worst thing. It's not nearly as bad as the Shyamalan movie, but it's not good, and it can be good. So, like, I hope they make it good. I hope they listen to the feedback it's getting, because the pieces are there. Just make it good.
Just make it good.
Zuko and Iroh were a highlight. They were pretty good in that. I think they handled them the best out of anybody else.
I have heard as much. I also heard they upped Iroh's screen time to have more time spent developing their like bond, and it shows.
Yeah, and I think the added scenes of Zuko and Iroh were some of the best scenes too. So there's that.
Yeah. I definitely felt like there were some Zuko fans putting those scenes together.
Mm-hmm.
Zuko's easily the best adapted character IMO.
Yeah, for sure.
We've got 3 super chats here I want to read. Another $5 from Delrin Plays says, "Oh yeah, congrats Purple on your Kickstarter."
Thank you.
Yeah. Purple had a successful Kickstarter for Vindicaris, book 3. So
Do you
that's
feel
pretty hype.
vindicated?
Hey, thanks. Can you get that LJ guy out of here?
Epic. Then the second super chat was from also Delrin Plays, $5, says, "I will say you could just adjust the times of when the comet and eclipse happens. Still, there are far worse adaptations." Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
there's not, it's not like bottom of the barrel or anything from what I hear. It's just, the attitude I've seen is very much like, why does this exist if this was the level that they were going to do, you know? Like, it doesn't feel like it justifies its own existence. And then there was another one from Magic Ninja, $10. Thank you so much. She says, "I just hope they don't mess with Toph too much. She was my favorite in the show."
I'm really worried about Toph.
She's gonna have working
gotta
eyes.
be honest. She's not gonna be blind.
Yeah,
They
what
make-
are they gonna do with
Right.
Toph?
They make Toph an actual buff man, just like in the play from the old show.
Dear God. Takuma.
Yes.
Taco
Hello.
Man.
We've been going on and on and on about stuff that, like, you have no vested interest in.
Takuma, you
How are
don't
you-
like Avatar?
I do.
Dude,
I
what
like
is
it.
wrong with you?
I've been rewatching it. Shut your trap.
Then why didn't you say anything?
Because
Whoa.
y'all wouldn't stop.
Why did you keep your trap shut? I want it flapping.
Yeah, and last time that's how we wound up with an episode named "Potatoes Don't Make Good Toothbrushes."
Yes, and that was great. Now can you make another one?
I don't know. I was already thinking like "World's Best Knock Knock Joke" could make a good title.
That's good. There it is. You're welcome, Messa. I got you. World's best knock knock joke. Title of the
Epic.
episode. Woohoo! Good job, Takuma. We did it.
You're
welcome.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Pour
yeah.
one out for
Yeah.
game theory.
Oh, wow, I forgot about that.
Oh
That
yeah,
is a
game
big
theory.
one.
How did we forget
I
about
love
Put it
that?
up earlier.
Wait, we never talked about
Takuma,
game
why
theory?
didn't you remind
No.
us?
Yeah, Takuma, come on, man.
Well,
That's a
come
cool
on,
one.
Up
man.
at one point, and now Matt Pat's gone. Y'all just went right past it.
Jeez. Takuma,
Well,
how
the
could you let
Mad
us
Pat
down
thing
like
happened-
this?
Whoa, that was like. Well, when did he announce that he was retiring Game
Like,
Theory? That was like
2
a
months
month
ago.
ago. 2 months ago. See, it's old
was-
news, Takuma.
Yeah.
But the final one just came out like 2 days
I
ago.
know old is still current to you,
Mhm.
Takuma, but you got to keep up with the times. This week it's about Rooster Teeth.
You are
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh no.
about to be revoked.
I'm about to be
Nice.
repoed like Messo's couch.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Leo, no. Don't take him away.
No.
Not even in that branch.
Yeah. Matt Pat's final video was a sad one too. I was never even the biggest fan of Game Theory. I think I've cumulatively watched maybe like 6, but it was a very good send off. It was very well done.
He was. I think he was a very big part of kind of helping push YouTube the way it's been going now.
Yeah. Another one of
as
the
much
old
as-
guard bites the dust.
Yeah. It's like RoosterTeeth helped with the group creation content. Matt Pat helped on the solo content and collaboration. I mean, other channels did that too, like Channel Awesome and all that before him.
It's definitely one of the biggest ones though.
Yeah.
And he got the
seeing him
creator
go
of
through-
FNAF to cameo.
Yes, no. It's not that he cameoed. It's that he talked and moved on video. That man is like a cryptid, and every single picture of him is different. So even the video, him in the video looks different from him on the movie set like a year ago, which is so weird. Anyway,
I mean, he
I
grew
love
a
Scott as well.
beard.
Yeah. No, but even that, it's weird. It's just weird. It's
It is
the
really
Onion
funny
Club
to
guy.
That's kind of a funny podcast, though. That man is like a cryptid.
Freaking Scott Cawthon, man. Oh wow.
It's like It's so bizarre, man.
Well,
Man.
I'm sorry for ignoring your segue, Takuma.
That's
My
okay.
apologies.
Do it.
Yeah,
Because-
sometime we'll take a ride on it. Okay.
Has your life been good, man?
Yes, it has.
Epic.
Yeah, he got a segue. Those things are super fun.
Would you like to share any of your life with us, Takuma?
You do not have to.
Wow, y'all subtle.
What? No, I was just listen. I wasn't even saying you should say anything
Takuma,
specific.
would you like for us to care?
Would you?
That's what LJ said.
I'm saying.
No,
I'll
no.
give you a platform. We every now and again we have a good Takuma life update story.
Everything else gets a segue. This one's just beating you over the head with a club. Like, Oonga Boonga, let's go.
Oonga boonga life story.
Fine. All right.
Oonga Boonga life.
Never mind then. We'll move on then. Would you like that?
Good.
You tell me, LJ, do you want that? You know what's on the line.
He said, I would like for you to
No,
shut up,
no,
LJ.
Takuma, I wouldn't want that. I would like you to be a part of it.
Dear God.
Get a load of this guy.
Okay, to try and wrap it in, I am rewatching Avatar. Also, I did hear about the Tales from the Stinky Dragon because of my now fiance.
Yay!
Hooray!
Congratulations!
Takuma.
Congratulations.
Subtle as a meteorite.
Another one joins the TTV engagement saga.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat y'all to the altar by like 5 years.
Brutal.
Wow.
There's other things you're gonna beat us at in life, but I'm not gonna get all dark and dismal right now.
Like
You already
death.
said it before the podcast. We're gonna die before
You already said death. How much of a dark and dismal could you get?
Oh, did I say that on the recording?
Somebody did before we jumped in here.
Oh
Yeah,
well,
I did.
see,
And then I was like,
gonna
yeah,
lea-
you're
I was
jealous,
Gonna, I
aren't
was gonna leave it off of recording, but now you guys blasted me. Yeah, you're gonna make it to the ground before.
Yeah, sucks to be you.
Listen, I think we
You'll
should.
have to live in a world that doesn't have me in it, but I won't.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, shoot!
Wow.
That's a really good point, pal.
Yes, as of this past weekend, I am now engaged.
That's fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And while y'all were
Yeah.
going on and on about Rooster Teeth, I was looking up wedding favor ideas and stuff on Etsy.
Epic.
Wow.
We love that.
TTV and its engagement era.
Dude, we really are getting like
Heck
older
yeah,
by
dude.
the day. It feels weird, man.
Haha,
Yeah.
old.
That's our third TTV engagement, I think.
Fourth.
Fourth?
Fifth.
Wait.
The fourth, the fifth, the merry man, and the
No copyrighted music.
Technically the fourth.
That is true.
Is that... Wait. Okay. So first of all,
What?
are you gonna play that song at the altar, Takuma?
No,
Okay. Second.
No one wants the Messinac
Okay.
song.
So
I'm not sure.
So Var and Purple, Ven and Sam, Takuma and Mystery Lady.
Uh huh.
Who else?
Yeah, huh.
You and Messa.
Yeah, purple.
Var and Purple count twice.
Yeah, we're both TTV members.
Oh shoot! That's wow. That's okay. That's cheating. That's not fair.
I said technically 4.
It does
False.
technically count.
No, it does
Yeah.
not. Because 2 of the
should
participants
it count
are
as
the
one?
engaged. That's 4 people, but 3 engagements.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's
but
fair.
4 TTV engagements. There's 4 TTV
Yeah.
people who are engaged.
Okay, now yeah, that's
Does that mean Var and
technically.
Purple get like Var and Purple
Four
get double the
engaged
wedding
people, not four
presents?
Does that? Yeah, I was about to
Exactly.
say. Does that mean we have to double up on wedding gifts?
Yes.
Oh my
It does.
gosh!
Oh,
Heck
that's
yeah,
messed up.
dude. Let's go.
What?
Let's.
What do you mean? Let's
It's
go.
only
You're only
fair.
getting 1, Ven.
I'm about to get so much filament for my printer.
Is that what you want?
Well,
You know,
actually,
like-
there's a lot of things I'm putting on my registry. You guys are not ready.
All right,
Yeah,
Phil,
neither are
I don't
you.
even know what I would put on a registry at this point.
What can
Like-
we get you?
I've got stuff. What do I need? Like at this point, it's just like I don't know.
I
Lego
got
sets.
stuff. Hey, leave me alone. What's the big idea here?
I
I
got
don't like-
stuff.
Like I don't just give me money.
That's always a good thing.
Money's always good.
We want to do like a his and her gaming PC setup at some point.
Oh, that's
a good
cute.
idea.
That's
Hey,
cute, dude. You're so cute.
Yeah,
Basically,
yeah.
Purple and I have right now.
True. You guys do have a really good setup.
Yeah, we actually just switched over the office layout, so it's even better.
Wait, really?
Oh snap!
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta
Oh,
We gotta go
can't wait to
visit.
see every time I come over, I'm just like jealous of your setup. It's like it's really cool.
yeah.
I
dude.
aspire to have a similar setup one day.
Your setup is definitely goals.
You hear that, babe?
Well-
Goals.
Hey, they said the setup.
Hey,
whatever.
now get
Our
that
setup is
LJ
goals.
guy out of here. Hey, what's the big idea? Wow,
Uh,
Purple, that's crazy.
Bro, okay. So it's 4 super chats.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna read
gosh.
them out. I'm gonna read them out of order. Magic Ninja. Also, please don't mess with the boulder. $2. Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah,
Illustrious
we'll see.
Var. $2. I want my money back. What? So that's your first ever super chat on YouTube, Var.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
Thank
and I
you.
want it back. Give me my money back. I want a refund.
Yeah,
So
what's
anyway,
going on? What's the big idea here? What are
read
you
the
doing
next
here?
one.
Delrim plays $5.
Hey, wait, hold
Oh.
up now. Don't just skip past me. I made my demands clear.
I don't
There's
remember
usually a
having
chargeback.
a refunds approved sign listed.
$5 from Delrim plays. Oh, by the by, have any of y'all seen the Bionicle fan animation Bionicle Self-Starter? Superb animation
Heck
and
yeah.
captures Bionicle 0103 very well. I think most of us have.
Oh yeah.
It's incredible.
Oh yeah.
don't
It's,
think I
it's
have.
outstanding.
I have not.
I'll show it to you guys after this. You gotta see it. It's very well done animation. It's very epic, very cool. I'm gonna hold the last super chat for just a second because it's gonna spark a conversation. I want to see in the patron chat. Paleozoic Bricks says, "Just got back from the movies. Did we talk about Akira Toriyama?
No.
We did not yet talk
no.
about Akira Toriyama. No. So you arrived at an appropriate time. That was
Oh,
another
also,
thing that
never mind,
happened this week.
I did see the Bionicle self-starter animation.
Okay,
It's
cool.
very cool.
Yeah, that was also a tragedy that happened this week,
Mhm.
and it's incredibly
Yeah.
sad.
Sorry, I
What
had to
was
get up for a
announced this
second.
week?
What's the tragedy?
Akira Toriyama.
Oh no, dude, that was sad. I'm not
Mhm.
even that big into Dragon Ball, but I felt that like
Yeah.
just
It's
that
because his
ripple
influence
effect.
it's so massive. It's reached beyond his
Yeah.
own works.
Mhm.
So many people were inspired by what he did.
Mhm.
And so many
A lot
things
of
that I like
franchises.
were inspired by him. Like he's the root of all those cool things, you know. And now,
I hear his name and I think
Too
of
soon.
the DBZ abridged intro.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
the ripple
Yep.
effects will last
Mhm.
ages and ages forever. It's really a sad loss. That makes 2 of the big name authors now. It
3.
was also Kentaro Miura, right?
And there was also the Yu-Gi-Oh creator. That
Yeah.
passed away
Oh
from
no,
the
I
Yu-Gi-Oh.
forgot.
I forgot about that, yeah.
oh, why do you have to remind me?
This is really sad.
Mhm.
But I mean, it's-
68, man, that's really young.
That's
It
what
is.
I'm saying.
It's the
Yeah.
life of a mangaka, you know. It's
Yeah, there are a lot of mangakas have like very shorter lifespans than the average
Because
person.
they work themselves to death.
They work themselves to death.
literally. They just work all the time. Like the Oda, who does One Piece, he gets like 3 to 5 hours of sleep like per night.
That's insane.
Togashi from Hunter x
Oh my
Hunter
gosh.
has a messed up back who at one point couldn't even stand and had to crawl everywhere. Hence
I don't
why
even know, like, how do you, like, do you even still enjoy it? Like, I feel like I would resent my own characters at that point.
It's to see it through. I mean, that's kind of the issue with it. Is
Yeah.
it become part of your life, and you don't want to leave it like incomplete. You know, like
I
when
don't
you're-
think
when you pass
I don't
away.
think it would necessarily be a resentment, but I do think at a point you're over it and you
Mhm.
want to be done, and that's where like Ichiro Oda is at right now. He's been
Mhm.
very open in interviews for many years now. Yeah, the meme is that One Piece is lasting forever, but like he wants it to end.
Yeah.
He said he wants to travel the world and spend time with his family while he's
Mhm.
still relatively young and able to do it. So he's like, if you're reading One Piece, we are very much in the era of speed piece, where we are like blitzing to the end, and it's very
Is that
apparent.
what he said? Speed piece?
No, but that's what I'm calling it. Speed piece.
And
I
it's
do-
so
When you're reading
good.
it, it's still good. It's popping off, but it's very clear. He's like, all right, let's move this along. It's
I
time
do-
to end it.
I do believe Toriyama's death is going to inspire a lot of these older mangakes to finish their stories sooner.
Yeah.
I think both Oda
Now
and
where I thought you were
Togashi.
going with that.
Oh, wow.
You're messed up, man. Come
Yeah,
on.
you messed up, bro.
Dude, I was told that I had a dark sense of humor at work. What the heck, Var?
No, that wasn't a joke. That's genuinely where I thought he was going.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do think.
Do you need
I mean,
to
I just hope it
talk?
doesn't. This doesn't cause rushed endings to happen, which is a possibility.
I hope
but
not
also
for
their-
the sake
their
of
health.
the work, but yeah,
Yeah,
I
their health
do
is
I do
priority.
put it into perspective. We're talking about like a real human cost.
There's a chance that Oda does what Togashi did, where he's like, "All right, I have, this is a temporary ending if something goes wrong." Togashi released like one of them, and he says there's 4 more, depending on.
I
how
would hope he would have
exactly.
like contingencies. Yeah.
I mean, I don't doubt Oda has a story bible of some sort.
He has
Or
like books
Held
for every
under lock
arc.
and key.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
hmm And somebody that could follow in his footsteps, but like I don't hope. I hope that none of them pass away and before they finish their
course.
work. One of those situations that is very depressing.
Yeah. I just wanted
Yeah.
to mention it and properly address it because we hadn't done so as of yet, and it was very sad to read.
hmm
But all right, we're getting into the last act of the podcast. There's just a couple more things have to address. I want to make sure to read these super chats. There was one from Trevor Samora, $20, says, "Congrats, Takuma. Here's some money. Alas, I arrived
Hey.
late and have to leave early. Have
Oh,
a great
no.
podcast night and hope you all have fun. Well, I hope you're able to come back and listen to the VOD.
Thanks, Trevor. How do I get a hold of that $20 myself?
I will
That's what I was
I will forward it to you per his wish.
Hey, Meso,
Also,
how do
I
I
just-
get a hold of any of the money that should have
Hey.
gone to me?
It's in the
Can I get that?
couch.
Can I get that $2 that was owed to me?
We can talk.
Also, I just
We'll
want
talk.
I would just like to before this wow, total brain fart. Before we move on to the next thing, I just want to point something out. So, my fiance has not yet dove down the rabbit hole that is Bionicle.
Oh no.
However-
Oh boy.
I'm working on the curriculum plan. But I will say that right now, our song ideas tab of our workbook only has one song in it, and she's the one who put it there. And it's Move
Hero
Along.
by AI. Oh,
Move along, move along. That's incredible.
That's fantastic. Are you gonna play that
you
at
should
the altar?
introduce her to the. Oh, never mind.
Oh, has
No,
she
make
seen
perception.
Biocraft yet?
Actually, she watched Biocraft after our first in-person date.
Oh, that's dedication.
awesome.
Dude, what? That's awesome.
What did she think of it?
I mean, I could grab the text message if you want.
I'm kind of
Yeah, by all means.
curious because like she agreed to like marry you after watching it.
yeah,
so
I
like,
don't
that's
know how
encouraging.
that worked out.
Also, I want to do a fun thing. What was that other podcast title I was joking about making the podcast?
She either liked it because you were barely in it, or
that guy.
she
Yeah, you couldn't recognize most of my voices.
The other one was like
or
that
she-
guy is a cryptid.
she didn't like it because you were in it.
Thank you.
Okay, so like she said that she found it and she was planning on watching it, and that's when I basically said, okay, just so you know, you're probably gonna get more out of it if you actually like know anything about Bionicle. And a little bit later, she said, okay, I would have gotten more out of it if I knew. Yes, no one's voice acting stood out as cringy.
Nice.
Honestly, it was
Aw.
well done. The cinematography
yeah.
was good.
Nice.
The timing and humor were balanced. And it's very obviously something done with love and respect to the original. Plus, Minecraft adds its own humor in a way that you guys captured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That's one of our best reviews ever. Thank
Heck
you.
yeah.
We love that.
Then again, I have nothing to do with this movie, so any bad decisions,
Neither do I.
Right, that's out there.
Huh? Why?
Bro, okay, I swear to God I'm gonna get to your super chat, Frosty Ace. It's gonna start a conversation, so I haven't yet. Another one from Illustrious Var, $5. Awesome to hear your beautiful voice again, Var, my favorite TTV host. Here's some money, you handsome devil. Be sure to include this with that refund message.
I hope we're honoring our
man.
super chats here. These guys are very
man.
generous with their money.
Illustrious Var just splashing in the chat. Money bags.
Also, wait, why
Money
does it say
bags.
that Illustrious Var has given a super chat for the first time twice?
Can you count?
Hey guys, let's celebrate my first super
Super
chat
chat by returning it.
twice.
LJ, what were you gonna do? I don't want to like steal your thunder.
So I was gonna ask if it was okay with you, Meso. I was gonna put to a vote. We have 3 different titles for the TTV episode, and I was wondering if we
Great
could put
minds
it to
think
a
alike.
to a vote.
Great minds think alike. However, we also have the option of a YouTube poll as well.
Oh, okay.
So we could do both and average the results.
Sure.
How do you want to do it?
Sure. That sounds.
I already
fine
have
to
the
me.
poll set up. Great minds think alike. So
Oh, okay. All right. In that case, yeah, I'll do it with. This is go. Okay. So go ahead and post it. I'll post it in the Discord server.
all right.
Wait, did you pick the episode title? I had to fix my
doing,
headset real
We're
quick.
doing a poll.
You're doing a poll?
So LJ,
we
which
already
is the third?
decided, mess.
Which
Here.
is the third title?
World's best
Okay,
knock knock joke. Is this a me thing or a we thing? Or that guy is a cryptid?
No, here, listen. World's best knock knock joke, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Because people are gonna see that title. They're
Uh-huh.
gonna go into the episode thinking it's gonna start with a joke, but instead it's us talking about Rooster
I
Teeth and how they're about to.
Well,
All right.
to the polls.
People in the patron chat, vote. People in the YouTube chat, vote. The poll is live. Dude, I love these, Bonner. Okay.
Ah man,
Now.
that guy is a cryptid is pretty good though. That holds a lot of power.
Now, while this poll circulates,
The attack power on that is too
Wait, who is the
good.
cryptid?
It was me talking about Scott Cawthon.
You
yeah,
are Var.
final,
You
fight,
are the
like
cryptid.
Five Nights at Freddy's guy from MatPat's video. So the thing I want to double back to, probably for our final topic of the day, is Frosty Ace 100, who donated $20. Thank you very, very much for the support. He says, first off, good to have the cast back. Feels good always to see your dynamics. And speaking of live action shows, thoughts on the Halo Paramount show that got a live action? Well, it's funny you should ask, Frosty
man.
Ace 100.
If we had more time.
Hello,
A lesser
everyone.
known fact, and something that I would like to bring a return to one of these days, possibly. We actually had a whole separate podcast specifically dedicated to Halo during the era of Infinite coming out and the Halo TV show season 1, but it wasn't on YouTube. It was something we were doing just on the side for fun on Spotify and other podcast outlets. It was called Next Kill Wins. And I believe currently it's not available to listen to. Is that right, Var? It's like down on those outlets.
Yeah, because I had to pay for the hosting.
Yeah. Do you still have the recordings?
Yeah, I believe so.
At some point, I'd like to make those public again. We can help fund it, or we can just put them on YouTube. Because I think nostalgically about those episodes a lot, and I think people would like to hear them. I think they're kind of timeless. They were basically us reviewing each episode of the Halo TV show and discussing it at length. I think that to summarize our opinions on season 1, there were a lot of things we surprisingly enjoyed. There were a lot of things that were, fresh spins, enjoyable aspects, like the acting, like the visual design. There was a lot of weird stuff. There was a lot of weird stuff that really dragged down the overall quality of production. I think we all had different scales of like what was the worst thing. Some things didn't bother other people. But on the whole, just to rattle off a few that really were weird, Chief being out of his armor 80% of the time, Chief having a relationship with a prisoner of war Covenant spy.
Well, when you put it like that, it
Well-
sounds way worse.
Well, when you put it that way,
No, I think it's pretty apt.
Chief
It's pretty
having
accurate.
chosen one special like MacGuffin artifact vision, having an emotional suppressant microchip implanted in like all of the Spartans, Cortana and how she looked and her role in the story. A lot of weird stuff. I'm not gonna get into it. Suffice to say, for Halo fans, it was very divisive. And I actually
potentially hot take. I haven't seen season 2 yet, but season 1 of the Halo TV show was a better adaptation than the Avatar TV show.
I can see that.
Ooh,
that's
that's
fascinating.
That's
take.
definitely a take.
I can see it though, especially based on what I've heard about Avatar. I did rewatch the Halo TV show recently with Mary. Shall I get there
Why?
for the first time? Because it's funny.
It's
I
evil.
wanted to get her opinion as a non-Halo fan and someone who doesn't even enjoy sci-fi of how it held up as being an entry point for casuals, since that's kind of what it's designed for. And she didn't think it was that bad. Feel free to weigh in, Mary. I don't want to misquote you, but she thought it definitely had some weird stuff, but overall, as somebody who doesn't know the games, it was definitely like hyped up to be worse than it actually was in her eyes. There was a lot of stuff that did work, specifically a lot of the emotional scenes she liked, a lot of the political like subterfuge, the Spartan stuff with like how they were treated as children and kidnapped and all that. And then the stuff that didn't work for her was largely just like sci-fi trappings she personally doesn't relate to, rather than grievous flaws, because she obviously doesn't know source material. So yeah, I can see it's not all bad. My opinion on it's actually gone up a decent amount after rewatching season 1, believe it or not. A lot of the stuff that worked landed better for me the second go round. Everything to do with Halsey was actually pretty compelling, and I
Yeah.
remembered, oh yeah, I actually liked those bits.
I think, like, honestly, the biggest problem with it is only really if you're already familiar with the source material, because like the changes are kind of just like you either like it or you don't. But as far
Yeah.
as like an actual show is concerned, I mean, it's perfectly competent. You know, it's a
I will say
watchable show.
that production value is very high and consistent throughout the show. Like when
Yeah.
it has those moments where it gets very Halo and very action packed, it's awesome. It's pretty awesome.
I didn't mind the
and-
Halo show. I thought it was fun.
That was
I
fun to laugh at. That's all I remember.
yeah, it was fun to laugh at. It became my weekly like tradition with some of my buddies here. We would like get together, watch that show, we'd laugh at it, get confused, react accordingly to stuff whether we liked it or not. And then then I would hop on Next Kill Wins. Next Kill. Cal. Yeah. Cal. Next Kill. Sorry. Next
Yeah.
Kill Wins with you guys and really like unpack it.
It was a fun breath of fresh air podcast wise, and it's something that in the future I want to do more of, pending further plans. But like, it was a fun time doing a different kind of podcast about a different kind of
enjoyable.
subject.
It's a decent show, I suppose. I
I
do
would say
like
I
season 2 better
enjoyed-
so far.
I enjoyed the show more than I didn't.
Yeah,
That's definitely I can agree with that in comparison with Avatar.
Mhm.
I had more fun watching the Halo show than I did with Avatar. With Avatar, I was getting super annoyed.
Also, LJ Lewa sucks.
yeah, I saw that.
Should have made that a super chat.
Now, to answer another question, Frosty Ace, what about season 2? We can't really talk about that yet. Maybe tune in next month, because only 2 of us have really seen most of it. Leo's only seen the most recent 2 episodes.
I
Var
apparently
and
haven't missed
LJ.
anything, so
Var and LJ haven't seen it at all. Vin's seen most of it. I've seen all of it. And I feel like our opinions on it might diverge a good bit, and that might be for an interesting discussion in the future.
I don't know
just
when
wanna
I'll be
say-
seeing it. Purple and I are currently going through Breaking Bad, so it might be a bit.
Oh yeah,
World's
Breaking
best
Bad.
knock knock joke is winning so far. By the way, I'm just throwing that out there, Meso.
But that guy's a cryptid one in the patron chat, so now we have to figure out how to average the two out.
Well, you
more,
see, here's
more
the thing.
people are. On
Yeah,
the
exactly.
chat.
There's more people voting for world's best
Yeah.
knock knock joke.
So combining combining the patron chat and YouTube chat, world's best knock knock joke has 17 votes.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's right. Take that, Meso.
But
enough.
hang on, I gotta do the rest of the calculations. Yeah, don't wait on me. I'm still
LJ, you don't gotta
Okay.
do this.
Okay.
Stop the
So
count.
what I will say as of now, just to give some kind of an opinion on season 2, there are parts that are far better in terms of basically everything: emotional scenes, visual effects, combat, choreography, Halo lore, everything. There are parts that are like way high highs to a point that I would say exceeds season 1. But
I definitely would say the same thing.
there is still a lot of dumb stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and it's still very
Yeah.
present.
There's
I
still dumb
don't-
stuff.
I don't
Your mileage
believe-
may vary.
yeah.
I think how should I say, how destructive it is, because you could say the worst damage was already done. There's nothing in season 2 so far that's quite on the same level as Chief having a relationship with a Covenant spy prisoner of
Yet.
war. Yet
Because that was near the end of the first season.
it was.
We still have like
Man,
what,
that
2 or
was
3
still
episodes?
so funny how we kind of called that.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah,
the
we were-
way
I-
that relationship developed, we called it.
The group that we were making a joke, the group I watched with, we were making some type of joke about it, and then when it happened, oh
It was
boy!
the best thing ever. We were prophets.
I remember I missed one episode, and you guys used to like Ratman dream, and I'm like, okay.
Dude,
I don't-
I hope the Rat Man shows
If
up
Ratman
again.
doesn't show up, it's already worse in season 1.
I agree.
Like,
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Ratman.
Ratman.
I don't think I can never forget about Ratman.
He's just
was
a
the best.
ratty boy.
Yeah.
I miss him every day.
Hello, Oaktown Bricks. You came in like minutes away from us ending.
I'm gonna-
So I hope you'll
end the
you'll
poll.
catch the VOD.
Man, Meso, we were supposed to end like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I had to read the last like super chat.
This
man.
person's on time.
I knew it was gonna start a conversation, but I had to read it. I hope that gave a satisfying answer to your question. We'll probably mention it next time if more of us have
Mhm.
seen it.
I'll probably
But,
drop it back and watch the rest of the show.
I'm
Hey.
looking forward to the next time I watch Halo. And I've so far been really enjoying season 2 because of the things that they're adapting and the way that they are adapting it. I'm actually very cool with.
I have issues with some of it, but we'll discuss that. later.
Anyway, get us out of here, man.
Yeah,
So
let's
what's
end it.
what's the big idea here?
Alright.
I'm getting sick of this LJ guy. Purple, I know you're sick of him too. Yeah, I'm sick of him. Yeah, see?
Any other closing comments, fellas?
I want my money back.
I just want my money.
He wants his money
Alright.
back.
So I combined the two, and the winner is world's best knock knock joke.
Got it.
Got
Ooh,
17
now I know
votes.
what it feels like to win an Oscar.
17 votes. That guy's a cryptid got 16.
Yeah.
So close.
So close.
So
Shout out Godzilla
My
Minus
streak
One winning an
continues.
The better-
Academy Award.
The better title won. Like that guy is a cryptid is a really good title, but it's less relevant to the show.
Yeah.
You can use it for the
Respectable.
next episode.
but we
Completely.
can't then.
We could. It'd be funny if it has nothing to do with it.
All we have to do is say it. We say it in the
We
middle
just
of
do
the episode.
clickbait titles.
I love it. It's just like the olden days. Rediscover our roots.
Logan
Yeah.
Paul discovers that guy is a cryptid.
No.
Oh, you stop that. You knock that off.
Oh, man.
Awful.
Good times.
I hate it.
So
Good
bad.
times.
Get this
All
guy
right.
out of here.
Thank you guys very much for listening. We had like a pretty consistent, like 30 or so viewers for most of this.
That's good.
I really appreciate it as we get back into the swing of this. It's a lot of fun. Thank you guys for all the support as well and all the fun discussion we had. It really is appreciated. We will be back sometime in April. But I would like to make a real quick announcement for anyone who is stuck in this long to close it out. I think I would like to, since that seems to be locked in for next week. Unless there's something I don't know, Elge.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about.
That's
so.
what are you talking about?
Well-
Dude, we're working on like 3 different things, so I don't know, like...
That's fair. What I would like to say, because we did discuss this, next Monday, time to be determined, but probably I'll say around like 6 to 7 Eastern. I think we can say a little bit earlier than the TTV podcast.
The 5th TTV engagement will be officially announced.
That's
I
right,
will
my turn.
spoil it. Congratulations,
We are,
LJ and Meso.
Huh?
We are going to be bringing back Knack and Jay.
Wow, man, you called it.
I called it.
The next engagement.
It's official,
We are
everybody.
bringing it back in every color.
Knack and Jay will return.
Jay
with,
at the altar.
with a guess.
Whoa! Open marriage. Okay.
Okay.
So we are going to be the exact title is to be determined, but we're going to be talking about the experience of getting into Bionicle in 2024 with special guest Mary Issa.
No way.
Because Mary has finished Bionicle G1. It is
Man,
over.
I really need to finish my curriculum.
Might as
plan.
well finish G2. That's like 2 pages worth of content.
We were talking about it, but I want to like take her through the journey of like Hero Factory first,
Why, dude? Oh my god.
and that's gonna take too long. I
And then
want to
you're
get
gonna
her
get to one
thoughts just
time.
on G1 and like what that's actually like and all that, and it's gonna be a really in-depth conversation, and I'm really excited. It's gonna be a big thing where we get to hear what somebody thinks about Bionicle who hasn't been inundated with it for 20 years like we have.
Did
So
you play the games?
no, she's not played the
Sorry,
game.
cringe take. I'm not watching.
So what's it take to get on this Knack and Jay business, huh?
Proposal.
A proposal would certainly help.
That was good. That was a
If
good
you
answer.
can't do a proposal, because Knack and Jay is all about like
I'm spoken
curated
for, Meso,
topics.
I'm sorry.
Knack and Jay is about curated topics, so it's about like finding a topic you care about. Like the one we had VAR on for was about whether the community was like toxic or not, and that was a good
the
one.
5th, the 6th, but the 7th engagement. Nice comment, Anonymous Sour Cream. I like that.
There you go.
Hey, you can't
So-
be reading those unless they're sending us money.
Yeah.
So-
Well, if they're funny, I will read them.
Fair.
If
My
they're-
favorite one is the one that says that Meso needs to give up his couch to Ven. That's
Never.
hilarious.
Never.
Did anyone actually say that?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, by the way,
Okay.
speaking of comments, Toa Parai says, this was my first TTV podcast, so this was fun. Hope to watch another soon. Well, we got 352 other ones in the VOD if you want to go check them
don't
out.
go back.
Go back and listen to Build a Baby. It's a ride.
Stick around for the next one.
Printer noise, printer noise, printer noise.
You enjoyed it.
So yeah. Vin, if
Foxy
there was
useless
ever
junk. That's the best one.
if there was anything in Bionicle or around the topic of Bionicle that you like cared enough to want to talk about at length, Vin, we could brainstorm something.
Wait, does it
Um,
have to be about Bionicle?
Yes.
For Knack and Jay, yes, it has to be about Bionicle.
Ah,
If you want to talk
foundation
about
of the
other
marriage.
stuff, that's what we were brainstorming with TTV Talks that you didn't want to be on. If you change your mind, hit me up. Anyway,
all right. We'll
next
see.
week we'll be there on the channel. We'll get a post announcing the time soon, but I'm very excited. HF Talkies will return, but that's up to Matoro, and they're an enigma. Um,
Wow. Okay.
like, you want to talk about a cryptid? Yeah. Matoro
is
lives on
absolutely a cryptid.
Matoro lives on
Matoro-
their own rules.
Matoro is absolutely a cryptid.
Yeah.
Maddie's
That's
out
not. Yeah, that's not my place to take HF coffee. The audio is breaking down. Dude, Oaktown Bricks. This was also my first TTV podcast
What?
episode. What?
That
Okay,
is
well
bizarre.
What's
now I'm
happening?
sorry that you missed like all of it. I hope go back and watch it from the start.
Yeah, just go back and
Folks can only watch from the start if we end it.
True,
Okay,
good
okay,
point.
okay. Let's hit it.
Is this
Thank
a new
you, guys.
TTV renaissance?
That's
Maybe.
weird.
I don't know.
Yes, I
do right.
enjoy eating lamb off of the bone.
Shut up. Okay, thank you guys.
Heck, LJ.
I'll go ahead and
Thank
start
you
the
guys
music.
very much for watching TTV Podcast 353. Thank you all.
LJ,
We'll see
we're
you
trying
next
to
time.
end the show.
I am Mesa.
I want my money back.
I have your
I want my
money.
money back.
Hey, you guys are getting money? I'm Ben.
I got $20. I'm Takuma.
I'm unemployed.
You were about to be a Fed. Anyway, bye guys. We'll see you guys next time on TTV Podcast 354 in like a month. Bye.
Bye.